What is up, Lord Hazy? Hope you're doing good. What's up, Wiggums? I'm just making some coffee. Hazy Hops, thank you very much for the big 3 months. That's incredibly kind of you. Thank you so much. What's good, Envelope? I'm doing good. Unfortunately, they were cleaning my windows this morning. So, you know, my usual wake up at noon grind set turned into a wake up at like 2:30 grind set. But I'm chilling. We are indeed Kung Paoing. We're Kung Paoing every day. Every day is a great day to watch Kung Pao. Somebody pick my morality today. Should we start with the Combo Breaker hat or the Evo hat? First chat message decides. Kung Hustle is better. I cannot explain to you how much Kung Pao and Kung Fu Hustle are different. Evo, got it. Those are not the same movie. Newt, stop making shit up. It's Kung Fu Hustle, not Kung Hustle. Come on, kid. Let's go in there, cough. Yeah, we're doing the big 15-minute mark. I always just, for anyone who's actually wondering, like, why, I usually start the stream this early just to make sure everything's working. And, like, I'm remembering to do stuff, if that makes sense. There's times where I've caught weird errors and what nonsense, like booting up to start for the day. But it's also the chillin' time. Oh shit, this is my jam. Damn, this might be one of the best songs. This might be a top 3 song in the Neo World as a View soundtrack. Not to spit hot takes, but yeah, exactly. I'm labbing before the stream. Labbing before the show? Or is that like a suggestion? Not a terrible idea, to be honest. But I don't like that, to be honest. In a weird way, here's the philosophy. Are you ready for the philosophy? The philosophy is that Beginner Cup is for the players, right? I don't matter. The other person I have on commentary with me doesn't matter. We exist as a vehicle for these sick players. So I don't want to do anything, I think, that makes me feel like the focal point of the stream, if that makes sense. I try my best to make sure that the players are the only things that are really highlighted. Yeah, I got official Street Fighter 6 in-game commentator Vicious. You know what's funny is I keep calling them DLC commentators and they're not. They're just in the game. But for some reason calling them DLC commentators feels right. Oh, I think my streams. Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure if it was a suggestion or not. That's my general philosophy on commentary in general. That's like the only thing that, one of the few things I think that can rub me the wrong way sometimes about commentary is I really don't enjoy commentary when people talk a lot about themselves. Like, I didn't ask, buddy. Here to watch these two people fight. Yeah, Vicious made the big mistake of walking into my stream and saying, "Hi, Bones." And then I said, "Hi, Vicious. You know what you're doing next Monday?" You're against Crouching Idiot first. The bracket's not finalized yet. It's going to get shuffled around. We do have a new emote, by the way. For those of you who did not see the stream, I still have to cut it up, and I want to put it on YouTube. But we do have an emote now of my face, if you would like to use it. That was my reaction hearing Slayer's vocal theme from Guilty Gear Accent Core. Here exclusively for famous Evo commentator Solid Bones. Shut up. But also, don't shut up for thanking JD for the big 22 months. I can't believe we've known each other for that long. Hi, JD. How are you? Step back, bitch. Exactly. My dog, thank you very much for the big 18 months. Y'all are way too kind. Please do not surround me in zone emotes. I now regret having an emote of my face. Please no. Dang it, we're not going to have the Tillian correspondence for the whole time. Let me just grab my coffee real quick. Give me 1 second. Got coffee. I now have VTubers staring at me. Please stop. Don't look at me. Helltaker OST? This is not the Helltaker OST. But nice try. I've actually never played Helltaker. I always meant to. It was cool, and it was cool for Neurotrace for the big 2 months. Oh, shit. We got a pre-stream hype train. Hop on now. Everybody get anything out of your system. Shinani Moosely, thank you very much for the big follow. Hey, I will say, in terms of it being part of my brand, at least there's 27 different songs I cycle between pre-stream. I feel like that is an upgrade over some other streamers. I'm a gigantic fan of the Neo 12 OST. I did buy this for the record. These are like the actual sound files from purchasing the OST from the guy who made it. Oh shit! Hi dog, thank you very much for gifting the big sub to Vicious. You know what the fucked up things, Jodrick? Those would get DMCA'd, I think, from, like, the original creators. Before we even talk about Sony, I think was the person Weird Al was signed to. Weird Al was always a big fan of trying to make his music as, like, accessible and free as possible. But he had a contract with Sony for forever. Yeah, that was like the... I think it was Sony. I could be mistaken. But, because if you don't know, I talked about this on stream before because I'm a big Weird Al fan. But Weird Al only got out of his original contract that he signed for his first album, what was that, 4 or 5 years ago? When he released his last album. He was finally free. It was something like a 10-album contract, and it took him like 30 years to do it. Which is why when Weird Al released that album, he was like, I'm gonna take a break. I'm good for a bit. All right, are y'all excited for tonight? I feel like we've had, not to brag, but I feel like we've had a lot of really good tournaments in a row. Do y'all kind of feel that energy? I feel like the last like 6 or so beginner cups have been specifically really good. Let me get the lobby code out to the people. First tourney? Dude, good luck. Good luck to everybody who's new. Good luck to everybody who's old. You missed joining those old tourneys? You know what's funny is I only played in one of them because immediately then I was like commentating them. But I really, I wish I just got to play more. You know what I mean? I had to grind so much off stream, I feel like, to stay on it. And then everyone got too good and then started going even with or beating me, and I didn't like that. There's a line in Ricky O where the big bad guy, the warden of the prison, says, "The warden of a prison must be the very best at Kung Fu." And that's often how I feel about, commentary. You have to be the warden of the prison. Duh, Bearcat, fighting you in Street Fighter V is so fucking sweaty. Could you play a little worse? Please? I hate it. I've been craving playing some fight games, though. I was considering tomorrow just streaming me playing some Street Fighter V. Mildly de-rusting, but just goofing around in it. Which I know the answer is, aren't you a Strive commentator? But also my retort to that is, shut up. Anyway, it's not about me. Vicious will be here when he can be. He's getting off work and sprinting straight over here. So it might be me for just a little bit. Wow. How many emotes did we just get from that hype train? I got a lot. I got a Squirtle. Is that a Squirtle? Would we consider that a Squirtle? I guess not. It's like a punk turtle. It's a Squirtle. Come on, let's all be real. It's a Bulbatortle? True. Fargo with the big... Did you hear how well Fargo timed that to the music, by the way? Fargo with the big musical 19 months. That was sick timing. Dragon King, thank you very much for the big 2 months. I don't know how I feel about you going after my bones, but I do appreciate it. Unless you're just coming in like, bones. That's allowed. How's everybody doing? Are y'all having a good Monday? I'm not, unfortunately. But you know what? When you have a bad morning, it means you're going to have a great night. That's how it works out. So we're here. We're going to watch some good goddamn fighting games. I am Young Bones. I responded. Toph made a video earlier today where he was like talking about Melee commentators and like players and things like that. And I made a reply to it just talking about like, hey, as a commentator, you're going to get roasted sometimes, right? It's just like the nature of the biz. And I mentioned that at Combo Breaker when I sat down with Sajam, there was a chat comment that was like, I didn't know it was Bring Your Son to Work Day, which is a pretty funny comment, let's all be honest. But I replied with that, and like 2 different people replied to me. They were very nice, but they were both just like, that's really fucking funny, actually. Like, which, again, I need to emphasize is fucked up because I'm older than Sajam. I'm older than Sajam only by a little bit, like a couple months, but I am older than him. I just don't have a beard. How old is he, Old Jam? He's slightly younger than me, and I'm 29. So he's like nebulously 28 or 29. Ikadu, thank you for the big follow. Time to grow a beard. I grow the worst beard ever. I grow the most embarrassing beard you could imagine. Like, it is only on my neck. For the winter, I let the neck beard grow out for insulation. We got Korgel fans? I saw Korgel was in. I think the bracket might have just finalized, right? Yeah, we talk about this all the time, but I'm not upset about looking young. I do not consider it a down thing. He's not 25 anymore. It's only been a few years. Dude, that's the thing. People can catch up. If you ever want to be older than somebody, just apply yourself. Punish Flam. Whoa. Did you know, crazy thing, I don't know how many of you Metal Gear Solid fans, but y'all know the super anime song from Peace Walker that's sick, Love Deterrence? That song slaps like the final boss theme. The same person who composed that also composed Sins of the Father, and that's also the same person who composed at least one of the Tales openings, like the Tales of series. I found that so weird. Alright, we have people entering the room. We are still waiting for Vicious to get on in here, but I'll let you look at something other than this. And I will kill the music. Boom. And... boom. And... boom. What's good, everybody? I'm here with not Rob. I am going to be here with Vicious, but he's just not here quite yet. He might be right now. Okay, I think he's ready. Whoa. On the microphone. Is that Lord Vicious?
Yo, It's so weird. I actually had your stream just up just now, and I was like, wait a minute, there's an echo. But we figured that out real quick. What's going on, everybody? First and foremost, thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm not getting your camera just yet.
Awkward.
Let me see.
I
We'll figure this out.
Let's see. I think that's it's probably on my end. I'm pretty sure it's on my end.
It might be just something else on your system is like taking the camera or something. Not that I'm a tech support guy. But hi, Vicious. Thank you so much for being on for the record while you're trying to tinker with that. I really appreciate it. This is your mistake for coming into my stream and saying hi like a nice person.
Oh, boy.
Vicious said hi, and I was like, hey, you want to commentate? And he was like, I guess.
Let's try this again.
Try it again. No money, no whammy. By the way, your Discord avatar is pretty strong, I gotta say. Oh, now it's just me. Oh, we'll get Vicious on, don't worry. Yeah, Vicious is loading. Hello, Katrin. It's just me. By the way, if you didn't know, you see how my... Oh, he's back? Maybe this time? Let me try to quit and rejoin real quick also. Where's he at? Vicious? Alright, Vicious is caught in the vortex. Wait for him to get here with us. You got 5 ways in the dude court? Dude, we had to make a new channel for the welcome spam because it's like a gotcha in that place. People are rolling for the right welcomes. Can you hear me, Vicious? Hello? Nope. We're waiting for him to get on in here. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Beginner Cup. I will do my whole welcoming spiel. I'm just waiting for Vicious to get in here so we can talk about the rules. You know how I do. I will ask the players if you're stepping up to stepping up to bat. Be real chill. Wait 1 second. I can't do no commentary without my co-commentator. What do you think this is? Oh, there you are.
Dude, you know, I had to do a hot fix, and I had to just say screw it on OBS because my virtual cam thing wasn't working, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. Okay, let me move you over just a bit real quick, but let me also just say hello, Vicious, the commentator. You are in Street Fighter 6, which means that you are, you know, the most celebrity person I think we could have on stream possible.
I'm gonna refute that and say I disagree. I actually have nothing, but first and foremost, thank you again. I don't know if I was able to express that earlier if I was live, but yeah, no, I mean, it's kind of wild because I mean, like I didn't realize like how much you were streaming like all of these until like way early into our like D&D sessions. I'm like, oh damn, he actually throws down with like a lot of the beginner level tournaments and stuff. So I thought I'd pop by, and then you hit me up. So I was like, oh, this is actually super cool. I'm no stranger to Guilty Gear, but I'm also no pro at it. So just kind of like a little forward from myself to prep myself for the beratings that I would get for saying things wrong.
You know, I think that is, though, that's a good way to start. I don't know sort of the Vicious origin story. Would you mind telling me and everybody, like, how did you get into fighting games? Like, what are your favorite ones? That kind of thing?
Sure, absolutely. How I got into it, pretty much played Street Fighter 2 at the age of 5, had an older brother. My dad sat us both down, showed off his Super Nintendo. It was his, not for us. But he was like, yeah, we have Street Fighter 2. Like, obviously, I don't know what the hell he was talking about. And we just started playing, right? But fast forward into high school, area I grew up in wasn't like always the best, but met up with some dudes that were into Street Fighter. I'm like, oh yeah, I heard about that game. They had shown me the ropes with Third Strike and beat the living dog crap out of me. And since then, I've been like kind of fueled by that out of like petty spite and like resentment towards how bad it felt. I was like, all right, well, I don't want to lose like this again. Ended up getting introduced to a place called Family Fun Arcade, which was like the mecca of Street Fighter Third Strike at the time. Since then, never really turned back. I think the origin story really is, for one thing, Vicious comes from the anime Cowboy Bebop, and it's one of the coolest antagonists that I see. I think he did nothing wrong. I think it was all Spike's fault. I'll get into that story in a different time. But I also try to reflect that in my gameplay. Obviously, I want to be like as nice as possible because, you know, I do care about the community, and I think that it has a very special place in my heart. And I think like a lot of people have related to different types of upbringing in the FGC, and I'm definitely not one to kind of like gatekeep people. So it's been a long time where I've actually seen this kind of turn of like openness and willingness to learn. Where, you know, coming from the rough, I guess, like late 90s, early 2000s, like mid 2000s, actually, not mid, what am I saying? Early 2000s, where it's just like, you know, you would hide your tech for nationals and people would gatekeep the hell out of you. But yeah, no, I mean, like in a nutshell, grew up getting my butt kicked in Street Fighter, eventually met some really cool people to open my eyes up to a bunch of other new games, and here I am.
Gotcha. Dude, that's an awesome origin story. As we always talk about sort of the... Well, before I dive into this, are you able to... Can you kick on Strive and get in the lobby?
Yeah, I'm looking for it right now, actually.
Okay, sick. I was just going to say that, like, we talk almost every week because, you know, a lot of the guests I have on, we're all curmudgeon-y old men. And we remember, like, even back in, like, Street Fighter 4 era, right, the mentality was not that different yet, I don't think, from the old Third Strike era in terms of, like... frankly, very scrubby in a lot of capacities. Like, even like people who were good were just be mean-spirited and like saving shit for nationals. And how much that's really transformed to now, like, it feels like the major leaders in fighting games are, for the most part, nice people who are trying to get other people to learn to be better, right? Like, it's a very different vibe, which I really do appreciate. Kick this thing on, and then I'm gonna give our Lord T.O. Sigwin the okay signal. Because I saw you are Dwayne Johnson, correct?
That is correct. The big bald guy with the championship belt on his waist.
You'll love to see it. Yeah, you should be able to, if you don't know, you go up to like that little book and there's the option to spectate. You should be able to hit that. And then you can you'll hang out with me. The only time you'll ever have to hit a button ever again is if there's a disconnect. You'll just have to hit okay. That's it.
Easy peasy.
So we should be good to go. But yeah, you were mentioning that like, because I'd asked you played Strive quite a bit on launches. I think basically everybody on Earth did.
Yeah.
And I think that like all perspectives from different people can still be very valuable, especially for people who are like beginners, right? Just in terms of a lot of times, I think the feedback people need to hear is very high level and not usually so granular that it's just like, oh, dude, don't you know you can squeeze out an extra 5 damage off close slash there? Like, so I think regardless, I'm sure we'll be able to give people a lot of like feedback and whatnot. For the record, I think you might not know what the stakes are. The stakes, as we go into our very first match of the night, I will explain to you. This is going to be Hyrule and Bazingo, but the stakes are first, second, and third place get banned for life. So...
Oh no!
That is what everybody is scrambling for, which does actually put like a lot of stakes in the situation because you only have one chance to try to get first. Once you're in top 3, you will never get another shot at trying to place higher than that. So usually it's very fun. Hyrule played last week. I believe they took 4th place. So just outside of what we would call the money. Very strong Zato player. Zato is also a very strong character in beginner brackets, I think, because he has such a sick, nasty, gross offensive game plan that, like, if people don't know the matchup, you will roll them over.
And that's exactly it, right? There's been so many block strings that are, like, kind of intimidating to take on in the training room without having someone explain it to you, right?
Yeah. For sure, but we are seeing some of that nasty Testament stuff right now. Had the Stain State, meaty fireball into the next Stain State, the 5Ks.
God.
Hyrule can't move. Help!
You can't. No, once the crow touches you and has that aura around you, you kind of treat it like you could do something that's safe, get a frame trap going, and then continue your offensive pressure, right?
Yeah, and the down gator, brutal. Yeah, and I mean, I respect also Hyrule just hanging on to his burst in that, because that match kind of got away from them very rapidly.
Yeah. Man, the frog with the veneers always freaks me out, man. That and like the jumping Eddie with the horse hooves freaks me out, man.
Not a frog fan?
No, I'm not. I mean, getting beat by it? Heck no. When I hear counter, definitely not. Like it's a whole different story, man.
Not a big fan, but okay. Oh, I thought that was a back throw moment. Bazingo actually gets the throw pressure going. The next JD connects. No super.
You were still in the air, Bones? What do you mean? Like that was
gross.
I've only played Toki in a first to death with against Testament, so I haven't seen everything yet.
First to death, who died?
I died. I died after 3 games, and I'm like, I'm done, Toki. We're playing Fortnite.
Wow, that was nasty. The JD into the RC. Bazingo's going to burst, which makes sense, theoretically, is the last round here. This would be a huge comeback. This would be a huge comeback, Vicious.
It could happen. No, just trying to get to safety. Bazingo is now trying to set up as well. This is the best part. Yeah.
Piercer connects. The meaty was a miss, but the frog covers. No! Spaghetti.
Who brings the sauce, though? Who brings the sauce to cover the pasta? Oh, you already know Hyrule does.
And Hyrule totally does, my boy. Now Bazingo is down a burst, basically. They're almost tied up on it. They could have gone into this in a better position, but Hyrule is now playing a lot more patient, it feels like, and getting a lot more of these frame traps. Bazingo's a big fan of swinging, and now they can't burst this. Look at the damage, dude.
That's a lot. Just built up the overdrive, too, so you couldn't really get to see Shark Week that early. Would have left him in a positive position. But either way, actually, Zato doesn't really matter about that. The tap dust, I think it was like a slight delayed tap dust, I guess.
Yeah, it was. Oh my god, dude, that was like kind of a 1-layer mix, but still so scary because of that slowdown. It didn't matter. Hyrule's gonna take a perfect. That first round was domination from Bazingo, and then Hyrule with the quick reversal.
I think it comes to a matter of who gets to be offensive first, right? Like when you are facing off against a Zato and you're not as familiar with like the different layers that can be presented, it could be a little tough. So I think like, you know, that old saying from years back in general, a good defense is a great offense. I could be butchering that a little bit because I'm also very tired. But no, I think I would love to see what Bazingo has in store for Hyrule.
Well, it's something that we talk about almost every week, that for 2 things. One, Strive's offense is pretty strong. Like, offense in this game is pretty juiced. But also, in general in fighting games, I think offense is always the first thing to develop. And so for brackets like this, where we're looking at players who are like usually floor 10, like to low celestial at highest, a lot of times their offense is looking strong, but it just turns into a who hits the other first fest, because they really a lot of times don't know how to deal with each other's nonsense. Like, I think Hyrule really made a good adjustment when he kind of got smoked by just the Testament pressure before. That was disgusting. That was so gross, dude.
This might be Bazingo's turn now.
Yeah.
We'll see, though. Burst is still intact for both, right? So Hyrule could definitely get himself out of danger if need be, but...
The 5K pop, the bird aura, and now look at this. Dude, that was like 2 hits, and now the life is almost even up. He's gonna die!
Are you gonna do it? Are you gonna force him to burst?
Oh, Drunker Chain saves his butt! The 5K!
Oh man, you have to see it coming, too. That is so tricky. Like, from these... At these levels, even for, like, some... like super high up players, sometimes getting tap dusted, it does happen.
It super happens, especially with Zato, just because the overhead came out there. And it was such an awkward situation because Drunkard happened to be active, but back throw moment. Oh no, this could be a disaster. Wow, I really like that option from Hyrule, right? Because Zato can threaten jumping out, flying, doing so much shit. He just empty jump FD'd straight at him, like just to kind of get a little bit of screen space.
Set himself up.
Nice blocks.
No, low is what opens him up. Oh boy.
It's intercepted.
It's right into the face.
Yeah, the low gator. Now you have to be careful here. 6PE. Okay, the JP. Dude, if you don't know, for the record,
no.
This is YRC saving my bacon.
It always freaked me out, but in a cool way. Oh!
Not quite a pickup. Piercer's holding it down, but not quite enough. The frog is going to catch something, and Hyrule... I'm so sorry. I had the score wrong. Hyrule was up 1. Hyrule is going to take that 2-0. For the record, Vicious, this is first to 2 up until winners, grands, losers, because it's a weeknight, and we got shit to do. So
yeah. Oh, yeah. I've put all my work on hold for this, and I gotta say, like, this is like the best I could actually like look forward to, because it's like, man, I'm tired of working. I was like, I'm very much so looking forward to this tournament. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I think the coolest things that we get out of these tournaments are kind of these narratives that emerge of players who are like just outside of that top 3 spot each week, and it's like, can they grind for the next week to finally get that graduation belt and be banned? But I just want to say really quickly that I think Bazingo was looking incredibly strong in that first game, and it felt like, unfortunately, they weren't really sure what to do once their opponent Hyrule kind of switched to just being so much more patient, and they just kind of like let themselves get ground down in the neutral. But moving on to our next match here, this is going to be Hungry Moth versus Ed. I don't know what to call that, quadruple D, the 4th Ed and Eddie member. But
Yeah. It's all of them when they fuse together, by the way.
yeah, exactly right. That super didn't wall break. That was so weird.
Oh.
Wait, this is actually not bad for Ed. Ed just needs to get lucky. He just needs to hit a big homer. Oh.
That was the biggest homer you could ask for. Nice and safe.
Yeah, I feel like at that point you should just lose your mind, right? Like, you just try to swing and make it happen. Okay, gets the frame trap out of the Beyblade. Clone, I like this. Gets the bite. That's disastrous for Hungry Moth. And just like we were talking about, right? Players can really suddenly look so unstoppable once their game plan gets started in this game. Offense is just so potent.
I feel like Giovanna hasn't really seen a lot of play lately, if I'm not wrong, in the current meta, but Nagoriyuki is definitely somebody who is extremely popular.
He's around. Gio is rarer. I think it's because, you know, I always say that Giovanna is Country Croc on Wonder Bread. She's just a little basic, I think, for a lot of people. They want to play the funny Blood Samurai or play the funny Punch Man. But she is still, she's good. She's a very like well-rounded basic character, but unfortunately gets frame trapped by the close slash, and quadruple D is gonna be able to go into the big super here and take it. They got the burst on the last hit there, so it wasn't even a factor. It's the perfect ow. Holy smokes.
Pretty intimidating, to say the least. I gotta say, man, like, when it comes to Nagoriyuki as well, again, trying to get past some of the giant normals he presents is, like, by default, it's going to be a tough time for Giovanna, I would say.
Yeah, it's a tough time for her. She kind of has to play this sort of like weird mid-range dash in and out kind of game and force whiffs and try to whiff punish it with either dog missile or like 6P or something like that. Once she gets going, she can really pressure Nagoriyuki. You know, her corner pressure is terrifying no matter who you are. But that's the problem with you try to do stuff like that. Like, I like Hungry Moth trying to switch it up and trying to just go for neutral jump, like air dash there, but Canadian burst, oh no.
From Canada.
She's dead.
Listen, you got to go through customs still.
She's dead.
I know it's still part of North America, baby, but you're still crossing borders.
Oh my god.
PSA just sent her ass back home.
Dude, that was so disastrous. That back throw was so bad. That's like, you can't really go for pressure like that, especially against Nagoriyuki. His throw range is so massive that any opening you get gets the bite. This is going to be so much clone or Beyblade.
Oh, held it.
Disrespectful.
Oh, no. It was cool at first.
It was.
What a whiff punish. That was actually pretty sick.
Gets the big whiff punish. Not quite enough to kill, but I mean, this is looking disastrous for Hungry Moth. You know, why does he do chip on his normals, Vicious?
Hey, you're the expert here. You tell me. That's what I want to know. I haven't experienced a chip death since 2015, to be honest with you, because we don't really experience that through normals in Street Fighter V.
No, we don't. I mean, it's just so the only times it really happens is like when you're caught in V-trigger blocking and you just go, haha, GG's. And they just do a block trigger to super. Or Oro hits you from half health when you're blocking with V-trigger on, right? Nagoriyuki's chip can be like so scary to deal with. Not quite MBC2 Sentinel levels, but not too far off.
Now you are speaking my language, because that is terrifying. Like, don't get me started about Sentinel chip kills or even staring down the barrel of a gun in the hands of Cable with 5 bars. Like, we don't talk about that.
Dude, it's so funny if you ever watch like MVC2 footage, because there's so many things, there's so much stuff in that game that you need to know the weird rules around it for like why it happens. Like if you see a sentinel get hit out of flight, you go, uh-oh, because he might just have the infinite flight and just start kicking you in the face from the sky for 20 minutes. Like,
yeah, it's super tough. It's super tough. It's so funny too, because like I've actually had somebody kind of get hit with the unblockable as Cable too. We were talking about both characters. In fact, if you were to get somebody on incoming with a meaty jump H, and then immediately go into super while holding the beam down, it catches them as an unblockable on the way down. It's just like, how are you hitting me? I was blocking that. I'm like, I know. That's why I'm hitting you. It's the fact that you did block it.
How was I hitting you? Boy, it's the year 2000. I'm not telling you. It's not that culture yet.
Even what's messed up is even if you tell them, it still works. No matter what.
You know what's messed up? That reminds me, speaking of telling them and it's still working, we have a Gold Lewis in the lobby. Gold Lewis, one of the big, boy, even if you know the answers, if he gets started, it might just be lights out. Very strong character, but pretty executionally demanding. I think is something that people don't really talk about with GL, just because doing the Typhoons correctly. And like the big thing, it reminds me of like, do you remember the part in Street Fighter V Top 8 at EVO when Oil King freaking died because he dropped Seth's Crouch Light Punch into heavy DP combo? Because that combo is terrifying to drop. Gold Lewis is similar, where if he misses a Behemoth, he's like minus 700. He is just on the floor like, whoops, because he whiffs a 2H and just lays there, and you just get to hit him. So, like, he can also be kind of just as scary to play, I think.
What's funny is like I feel like I could hear the churning of any sort of like Gold Lewis play from down the hall, actually. But no, it's really funny. I only get to see Gold Lewis in the hands of good old Sajam, and also sometimes in Rumbleverse. But neither here nor there. I do like enjoying watching that character move. I think there's a lot that he can do in terms of like stuffing out what other people can do in neutral. It's really quite scary, right? You could have the drone to kind of have you close the gap from further distances if you're getting spaced out. You could go for back scratcher to get some ambiguous mix-ups as well. I've seen it. I haven't experienced it yet because it terrifies me, but man, it's super enjoyable to watch.
Everyone loves watching Gold Lewis. It's the same thing as like grapplers in every fighting game, right? He's basically grappler adjacent, where fans are just like, woo, look at him go, big boy. And then like you fight him and you're just like, this is the worst thing.
Either way, I think from a viewer's perspective, it's always fun, but being on the receiving end, it depends. It depends on the person, I think.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Waiting for our next player to roll on in here. We're just kind of chilling. Yeah, he does the big boy damage. It's terrifying. Like, if you don't know, Vicious, if you don't properly understand, when you see that drone come out, and the obvious question is, like, what's the counterplay? It's like, not much. You give
block,
up,
dude.
you give up screen space because you do not want to try to, like, actually do stuff to it, because that's when Gold Lewis can really kill you for trying. So you just kind of back off and you're like, okay, you can get 80% of the screen, it's fine. And that's like mission successful, right? You lost most of the screen, but you're like, thank God. Okay, we are gonna get into
think about it, like being put in that position. I think there's a lot to be said though. Like if your defense is on point and you could find a way to like get a back grab in, it's like, all right, well, you force him to come to you, and then you get that you get the high risk, high reward, where if you get that back grab, it's like, oh, well, okay, now I get to do this all over again and play with the real estate behind me now.
So we'll see how this goes. I mean, both these characters are obviously very sluggy. And Gold Lewis, if he reads a correct dolphin, I mean, May can just die, right? She just might be dead on the spot. And she's pretty bulky, but that really does not matter against Gold Lewis Dickinson. So Jackie Nuts here going up against Whale of Fortuity, which I made the read last week, that Whale of Fortuity played like a Potemkin or a Gold Lewis by the name, but, you know, May is also pretty correct with Whale of Fortuity. I'm a fan.
I was going to say, when you have the name Whale in your name, you wouldn't guess for the person who actually has amphibians and mammals and etc. in her arsenal?
Excuse me, Vicious. She doesn't have any amphibians.
That's fair.
That would be a frog.
That we know of, right?
Yeah, true. She might have a frog friend. But, okay, Jackie Nuts is getting May pressure into the corner, not challenging on that 6H, and bursts out. Drone is out. Yeah, got to give up that screen space. And see, ooh, that was a brave challenge. There could have been a close slash there.
I could feel the joystick churning from here. Maybe the hitbox, but either way. I wonder how much more effective you would be as a Gold Lewis player on hitbox.
It's tricky, I think. Like, half circles on hitbox, that's not going to kill. I think a charge 6H woulda. But, yeah. So Jackie Nuts has a chance here. The Whale Fortunity's got the meter advantage.
Oh my god!
Oh! Yeah, not a safe jump, right?
Not quite a safe jump, I think. And also, you know, there's a lot of things that could have happened there. Even if it was a safe jump, there could have been chip. But, like, it didn't look like it was. It looked like he landed on the ground. Big 6P.
Oh. What are you supposed to do about that as Gold Lewis? I mean, you
There you
could
go.
kind of like preemptively hit it. Oh, okay, we saw the answer.
Yeah, the big 6P is the answer. Especially they buffed it before. It was kind of like really tiny, but now it's more like a Street Fighter 4 Rufus reach for the popcorn. Like that little fella's reaching out there. Like it is shockingly far how far his 6P goes now. So gonna be able to get some pressure started, but miss the behemoth that is gonna come to drone. Yeah, that was sick. Wow.
I love the animation on Gold Lewis. I never get tired of it.
Okay, neutral
so
to
sick.
JD. JD, I feel like is a godsend in this matchup because it will just beat Dolphin. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts. If he's JD, the Dolphin will get smoked. It takes a burst. Interesting. Really wants
You
this
could
round.
chip here, right?
Chip could easily kill here, yeah, especially with the guard crush status that puts you in. I like the BRC there. It's similar, you know, Vicious, I'm going to speak your tongue. It's similar to like V-triggering when someone jumps. You kind of just get to look at the screen real quick and you go, okay, 6P, easy peasy. Nice.
It's pretty much like, what's funny is like the V-trigger system was actually stolen from like somewhere else. Like, so it's like, I totally get it. Yeah, utilizing that time freeze to get yourself that punish appropriately is something that just needs to be done if you have that kind of mechanic in your game.
Okay, didn't miss the behemoth there, but Whale of Fortuity swinging too much. That was a missed behemoth. That 6H gets the 6P. I like the way Jackie Nuts, I feel like, kind of really, he was like, okay, I see the way it is. And he just started hitting that 6P, brother. He's like, I have found the answer. And I totally respect that. When you're in a 1-2 format, especially in a tournament like this, you gotta, like, if someone is bulldogging you, you gotta be ready to bulldog back. It's like a match of stubbornness a lot of the time.
Yeah, looking back at it, I think there's a lot to be said about one person's offense, and then afterwards, you'd have to get beat by it or get exposed to it a couple of times before you'd even think about the answer in training room, right?
Yeah, no, 100%. So I think like for Whale, but also for Jackie, there's a lot of opportunities I'm seeing where Gold Lewis, I think, should have stronger lockdown than he's representing. And I mean, a lot of that is just practice and grinding. Like I said, Gold Lewis is a pretty executionally demanding character. But like, I feel like he's having to rely on Gold Lewis's neutral game, like quite often, which isn't bad, but like Maze is really good. So it's like, you want her to die.
Oh my God.
Exactly. The missed
This
burst.
might be the worst place, actually. Pretty much no burst, stuck in the corner. Hey, not too bad, though.
Yeah, got away with the
Got himself out
Dolphin
of the
because
corner.
Jackie didn't do like the from the ground up behemoth. I'm trying to think, like, as a commentator, I feel like one of the biggest challenges about, wow, what a blast the other way and knocked into the drone. That was beautiful. Hit before the drone came out and is gonna, that was a hell of an aggressive burst, dude. The match was not that on the line and now you're in the corner.
Oh,
Please help.
I was going to say, it's still kind of like an uphill battle, no? Because of the fact that you don't have overdrive. You're not really getting these confirms to get the wall splat.
No, yeah, that was a totally an uphill battle, despite the fact that Gold Lewis is in the corner. I mean, Gold Lewis does also, he does not have that bad of like a 2K to challenge from like that kind of range. Oh my God, big juicy 6P. Okay, kill her. You woke up 5P against Gold Lewis? Dude.
What happens now?
Now stuck in the corner. RC gonna get some of this close slash pressure going, and you can see trying to just crank up hitboxes.
There are a ton of 5Ps that have been landing thus far for Whale.
It's scary because if Gold Lewis counter hits you on any of those, you could die. Drone is actually, look at all of that screen space he got because of that, but nice Dolphin. Trying to take some of it back. Okay, he can kill her here.
Oh.
That was a brave throw. Gotta be careful for reversal super. It might come out at any time here, but look at the chip that he's doing. What?
Oh, my hamburger helper. What was that?
Dude, he Magneto tri-dash down at her and grabbed her. What the hell is that?
I've never seen that. Like, I watch a decent amount of Guilty Gear, and I haven't seen that before.
You know, I gotta say, in terms of a clutch way to end a match, I am a big fan. Jackie Nuts is gonna take a 2-0 over Whale, but that was sick. Just went 0-4. We salute you. I hope you have fun with the rest of your night if you went out in the bracket already. Everybody who's losing, know that means you just get to play more sets. Your life is better than everyone else's right now.
You're big chilling. Yeah, not as much pressure. You get to play against people who are also tuning into the stream. Not a bad deal.
Not a bad deal at all. And next up, we are going to have somebody who's played in quite a few of these brackets, who we have all just taken to calling Shrug, because I don't know how you would pronounce that name.
We'll see. Let me get into the the second part of the screen here.
Yeah,
because I was looking at the bracket.
When you see the name, tell me how you'd pronounce it, and then give up and say Shrug.
Okay.
Going up here against Atlas Chip. This is a battle of two people flying around trying not to play neutral.
I'm waiting for it.
We're
I'm
waiting
in the
for
lobby
it.
and I'm waiting for it. You know,
Do you see why now?
he got me.
Nice
It is indeed
challenge.
Shrug.
Exactly, yeah. With the clone here, though, gonna let Atlas gonna really run in the corner. Amelia does not have basically any good defensive options, especially against Chip. But is that able to get what a Rose pickup, dude? That was so lucky.
How does this person get added on anything?
I don't know. I just do @7 because the first thing's a 7.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. You're a genius. All right, so both these characters pretty much speedsters and very lightweight, but I gotta know, like, how do you even train against a character like this? Because there's so many mix-ups and so many like ambiguous things that you have to take note of. Like, there's certain routes that can lead to different mix-ups. And like, how do you even practice against that?
Yeah, I mean, part of it is big experience, but I mean, I'm remembering yesterday a buddy of mine was fighting someone in Blaze Blue, right? A game of grimy, disgusting mix-ups that no human could possibly block, and they were just like, hey, I need matchup help. How do I block this? And it's like, that's not the part of the matchup you need help with. Once you're in the mix, things have already gone wrong. You need to navigate the neutral, right? Because it can just be so hard to block Milia when she's on you. But I think a lot of people would probably, I could be totally misreading the room, but I think a lot of people would give Chip the edge here just in terms of like damage output and ability to be scrambly over Milia. It can make her life really difficult. But that being said, once she gets started, Milia can really just do this, run this kind of throw strike mix up. And despite her being a lower damage character, Chip's got no life, dude. He just dies.
Yeah. We're talking about the guts factor for pretty much both. I don't know if it's like near similar or if Chip's is worse.
Chip actually has great guts. He has bad defense, which is weird.
Word,
And
okay.
it's its own thing. Milia has bad both. She dies. But Chip has the worst defense ever.
I thought it was the opposite way around for Chip for some reason.
But as we were talking about, that Shrug is going to take the big first one, which is sick. I feel like Alice was in control, but something that I really want to call out that I think really swung around the momentum in that matchup is a lot of people let Chips, if you don't know, Chips got like a Rekka, right? Where he can go like low, and at any time, you can go into Bonsai, the overhead. And we saw when the first Bonsai came out, Shrug already had been 6P'ing it, and he exploded, and it was instantly a swing in momentum, and Shrug was on top of him running the mix. So, I mean, that is the kind of awareness you need to have, and now it's on Atlas for, like, what do you do now? Is Bonsai even still an option? Do you just try to stagger and catch her toes? Like,
I forget about that. Sometimes I'm so used to hearing Sukiyaki, and I always forget about Bonsai.
no, Sukiyaki. Bonsai is, so you saw there, again, immediately the 6P. Like, it is a practice counterplay from Shrug. Nice
the
pickup
off that? That was pretty clean.
That's the second time Shrug has done reversal hair car with no meter, which is risky to say the least.
Yeah.
Man grab, and you can see
Okay,
how
hold on,
much...
is
Ow.
Is that the general term for it? Hair car?
It's a hair car. There's
That's pretty
two
good.
there's two Arxis cars. Wow, the 6K. Yeah, when you're that low of health against Chip, it can be so difficult. Because she's got hair car, and in Blaze Blue, God, I forget his name. Not Kai. He has ice car. So, like, there's ice car and hair car.
Oh, Jin.
Yeah, Jin's got ice car. Or as it's called in the community, his Nissan, because he screams about his sister the entire game.
I gotta go. Hey, thank you for having me.
That's my
I
missions.
appreciate you, man. See you later. Take it easy, guys.
Later, dude. Big counter hit there. Look at the damage on this, and now you got to be concerned. The 6K RC pickup. Again, not quite dead. Oh, no way. No way. Dude, if he had killed off that Winger, I think he was committed. Rare footage of Winger actually working.
I've never seen that super land. I've never seen that overdrive land ever. You're right.
No!
Oh, nani kure.
Rare footage of the Canadian gold burst. Oh, that's the risky. Did not hit and then got completely punished. Yeah, Winger is a notoriously kind of weak super, not just in terms of it does no damage, but also it has no range. So even though it's theoretically a reversal, if you're doing like any sort of far poke into it, it just does not work. Like it will not hit them. So that's why it's so rare. So just, and it's also slow. So it's got a lot of things going against it.
But what are you supposed to use it for?
You can end combos in it to break the wall, so you still get Oki, which is important for Milia. Although Milia, I don't think it's the best Oki off of wall break situations. I could be wrong about that, but like she doesn't get to do like a disc setup. I don't think.
Even after spending the overdrive, you don't get a disc setup?
I don't think you get like a clean disc. I could be horribly mistaken around that, but I think it's more just so she has initiative, less so that she gets like the sickest mix of all time.
So what's the point, man?
It's better than
like
breaking your back neutral.
Yeah, that's fair, but you don't want to like guess incorrectly on their Oki. You know what I mean? Like especially as Milia.
Oh no. Atlas going for the rare Yomi counter. Okay, now he's blocking. Shrug is seizing initiative. He was like, "You're not doing anything, sweep disc." But yeah, it's still important to spend the meter there just so that you don't go back to completely to neutral because Millie is still stronger. What a combo! That almost broke the wall. Next one will be into super. And you can see again, the 6Ps are still coming out from Shrug. What a grab!
Sukiyaki! Damn, that was brave.
That was a super brave 5P. I would like to see Atlas punishing those reversal 6Ps in those Rekka situations because they've come out so much. And Chip can like 2D that. There's stuff he can do. No, the way, dude, the hair car is going to chase down the backdash.
This song is so sick, by the way. Still a big fan. Oh!
Burst? Okay, Atlas wants this. He's hungry, but you better not regret this. The DP connects. Don't burst.
No! He was trying to bait it out.
He was.
Oh, this is tough. Spin it to win it. Oh, Jesus. Still on the blocks. This defense is nuts.
This defense is super great. No! Sakugan did not connect. This is literally a poke. Shuriken connects!
No, not again.
No, you
I've seen
can't.
somebody die to the Shuriken before. I didn't want to see it on the stream. That would have been catastrophic.
I'm telling you, dude, I think that was a flub from Atlas. Those bonsais are off the table. Like, you need to punish Shrug for 6Ping there. Otherwise, assume they will always 6P if you do a Rekka. Wow, what a 5P. This challenge, that's brave.
Button on your wake up, man. It's a classic.
A classic, dude.
Oh, still got the 6P. Again, you made that big note earlier, and it's still happening from the side of Shrug.
Because Atlas has not proven they're able to meaningfully punish it. So I respect Shrug just sticking to their guns.
Yeah. Oh, no, for sure. Like that's a classic case of if it ain't broke, then don't fix it, right? Like, if they haven't shown that they can adapt to it, then why not continue on?
Okay, I cannot believe that bonsai worked. You are a madman, Atlas, but you're enough of a madman to bring this down to double Luigi. This is the last round between Shrug and Atlas.
Oh my god!
Patience.
That was actually hella scary.
They both dashed up and held 3. Like they were not blind. They were just in each other's face. Pressure with the clone. I like the FD there because it actually pushed him out far enough, but nothing for it. Now the bonsais are connecting. Look at that damage, man!
Jesus.
What a pickup. No way. Okay, if you kept that going, I would have been like your band.
Oh, this is huge. Actually huge. Another mix. The low this time with the wall splat.
Get this whack-ass Oki.
Big dub. Then what do you do?
That's pretty much it.
That's kind of butt. I'm not gonna lie. That's not effective. But that's not the player. It's the character. That's for sure.
It's just a million. But good block on the dust. This could be a total reversal clashing. Oh my god, what's gonna happen? They both have 50 cash, but oh no, Atlas immediately throws his in the toilet, gets the counter hit JH, but freaks out, does 2D, mashed out of
what
the
just happened?
He woke up buttons which beat the command grab meaty from Atlas, and then immediately the disc closes it out. Shrug with the hairs on their chitty chin chin is gonna take it over Atlas. Oh my god. Atlas just says, huh?
I also just said, huh? Atlas, I feel for you, man. It happens. That's exactly what happens. It's just how it plays out.
Okay, that's important lore. That was a missed winger. So they tried to wake up winger. They just got close slash into disc, and it still worked.
Oh boy.
Oh my god. Also,
I'm so sorry.
Somebody asked earlier why you break the wall with winger instead of Millie's other super. I could be wrong, but I think winger actually does do more damage, and that's really all that matters at that point. Also, Millia tends to break walls like splat you kind of high up. So like I think there's a situation a lot of times where Disc will just go straight under you and not hit anything. So she needs to do dash up winger. I could be wrong. If there's a Amelia expert, they might know. But
it does make sense though. I mean, like when there's certain mix-ups that you kind of get, and it ends up being a lot higher than you would actually go for winger. It does make a lot of sense though.
It does, and I mean, yeah, even though Amelia doesn't get the schnastiest mix off that, which like to be fair to like Strive overall, some characters just do, which I think makes it feel a little bit worse that some characters after they wall break with super, they are exactly as on top of you as they were 5 seconds ago. But Millie can still run up. She can do her close slash pressure into like grab and stuff like that. It's not like there's no threat. She just doesn't get the schnastiest mix on Earth. Atlas, if I had any hot gamer tips for you, it would be that like when you see something super consistent from your opponent, and I mean, I totally get it if it's just not something you had on top of mind for how to punish, but like when you see the call and response was like you would do Rekka, a 6P would come out, right? You need to be able to, at least on the fly, try other stuff. Like when you think they're going to 6P, do chip 2D, right? And like if it counter hits, you can do Alpha Blade or whatever and to try to like convert off of it. But like you should be adaptable to when something's that consistent, because like sets are short in a bracket. You need to just make quick adaptations on the fly, and that could be the difference between a win and a loss. But it could also be the difference between a huge raid from Senor Sajam. How's it going, everybody? I am here joined by Vicious FGC. Vicious, say hi to the people.
What up, gamers? Hey, funny seeing you guys here. I was just watching you guys a couple hours ago, actually.
That's funny. Dude, I thought you were going to seize this opportunity to say hello, boners. Like, I thought you were going to be on it.
I was going to do that, but I was also late to the stream, so I'm like, you know what? I'm going to pull back.
It's all good, man. Shit happens. Hanzo is like the biggest boner spreader of all time. Like, he's just decided that is my brand, and there's nothing I can do about it. And I'm just like, okay. That's...
Can't say boner spreader.
I can say anything. It's my stream.
Oh shit, that got me good.
They made the Street Fighter 6 voice a real person. I can't believe it. I can't believe that.
Yeah, I'm just an AI. I'm actually just I'm VR. I'm a VTuber.
Yeah, you're a VTuber. Thank you very much for joining me. You have very good mocap.
Yeah, I worked on it with another bald guy, so they got it down pat.
Next up is gonna be oh shit! It's a Biken mirror.
Yes! This is the character that I've been wanting to learn. Sajam had actually put me on back into Guilty Gear, and he's like, you know who you should play? You should play Biken. I'm like, what about Ino? She's like, she's good, but she's not your character. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, you like to put people in the mix. You like to play rock, paper, scissors. You should play Biken. I'm like, damn, you're right.
You're going to see some rock, paper, scissors, if I had to guess, in this set. You will see exactly how disgusting, just at a basic level, Biken is. Before you even get too crazy, just like, oh, that's a high-low, huh? Like, it's like immediately vile. So we will see how this goes. This mirror can be pretty wacky in terms of just it feels like whoever hits the other with a Kabari first, it's like, haha, I win.
It's the heavy Kabari is what matters, right?
Yes, heavy Kabari is the big one. Lets you kind of like seize the initiative, but 2S, 2H. Wow, the IV on that Kabari stopped her from getting sucked in at all. She just stood her ground.
Oh, you can still press buttons after the tatami?
Totally. It's minus, but it puts you usually at a pretty weird distance where it's hard to deal with like lights and stuff like that.
I see. And then 6K is also the big button that she has as well, right? To kind of like occupy that space, and it's cancelable.
Yeah, exactly. 6K is huge. The other big buttons you'll see are her JS is the snipe from it's the freaking like Halo sniper, right? Oh no! The damage. They both have so much meter, and neither of them have spent it.
Oh, you can finish it. Oh, nice and easy.
No
That's
meter
so tough
required.
too, man.
Yeah, so like other key things to look out for, that's 2S into 2H. 2S and 2H hit from about, I don't know, half screen. They're important buttons to look out for this character controlling the pressure. The tatami is out. You are bound. Oh, no!
That is so sick. And it's so tricky. Like, can anything actually cross up in the corner while you're bounded?
Generally, no. But the mix, oh, God. The mix when you're bound there is going to be really more like... just how many overheads do you have to block before she goes low?
Yeah.
And all of it is like legit.
Yeah, like once you're tethered, it's a whole different story. But like mid-screen tethering is a problem, I've seen it and I've experienced it. I'm like, dude, this is how do you even block this?
I cannot believe 2H with punish happened so far away. With punish on the dust.
Have them guess again, forcing the burst.
Okay, Yo Johnson connects, and I mean, this should be... Could have done some meter spend there, I think, to get a little bit more damage, and it could have been able to kill. Both these players, did they, like, sign... Did they sign an honor pact to not use meter against each other? They're like,
Let us have an honorable samurai duel.
Did you call that last move the Yo Johnson?
Yeah, it's called Yo Johnson, but I always just call it Yo Johnson. It's...
I'm learning so much. I'm going to use this the next time if I ever do Guilty Gear commentary again. I'm calling it the Yo Johnson going forward.
You'll hear me like, whatchamacallit. Yeah, I think Yipes calls it the Yo Johnson. Somebody else does. I stole that from some. We all just steal things from each other.
That's what it is, yeah.
Yipes stole something from me on commentary when we did the auction tournament at CB, and then the next day during Top 8 and Strive, he used my joke, and I was like, I respect it. Like, you're allowed. That's how this works.
It's funny, like most people would ask for royalties, but I would ask them to sign my phrase by having them say it. You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
It's Yipes.
Yeah,
like,
it proves it's a good bit.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it.
But Zyle is really getting ground down here. Nice block on the Johnson, like because that is an overhead if you don't quite know Vicious when she goes up like
Air
that.
Johnson. Instant Air Johnson, even worse.
Yeah,
I've been hit by that like on the other side after a tether mid-screen, and it's so problematic.
I cannot believe the big 6P actually worked there. And okay, now we have a little bit of meter spend here from Zyle, and he's going to be able to get the Tommy pressure going. The low, you grimy, Dick Dastardly looking garbage boy.
What?
Disgusting.
What? Oh my god. How are you not on for more commentary for Guilty Gear?
Because I call people Dick Dastardly.
That needs to be put on there officially. What do you mean?
Big 6K. Okay, got to be able to get the wall break here, but didn't meter spend, so they are back to neutral. Oh, caught in the toes, and you're to blame? You give Lowe's a bad name. I cannot believe they did it again and it worked again.
What's all this meter being saved for? It doesn't go towards your kid's college tuition. Like,
yeah, I know, right? They're saving it for the later in the tournament. There should be a fighting game with that level of meter management where you have to save stuff for later in the bracket.
What if it was like there was a game where like it has like a save state for your characters or the characters that you've played in recent matches, and it just like saves meter and carries it over indefinitely? Like,
that would be sick.
You don't spend bar until grand finals. You have like 20 bars of super.
I'd be a big fan. Oh no, the big JS, and this Zyle should be able to put this away. Nice. I really feel like Zyle had just a little bit more of the conversion sauce, which I think was actually the deciding factor there, because I think both of them had a little bit of this mixturization. I just think the difference is that when Zyle hit, it led to wall break scenarios, right? And that's a really important thing. Like, you can have some very simple comments in Strive that are just like, it'll hit him, it'll do a good amount of damage, it'll bring him over to the wall, might break it. That'd be fun. And then, like, it's a matter of reacting, okay, if it's going to wall splat, now I'll spend super. And that's, like, really it. You don't need to get into the super nerdy, complicated shit just yet, but you saw the difference there of Zyle just being able to, like, 2S, 2H, Kabari stuff, right? Easy. And I think it really made the difference. And also, I think for both players, you could be more aggressive with your meter, especially as Biken. An easy thing to do is you just BRC at them, and they're now stuck for 20 years. And now if you hit him with a Yo Johnson, I think you are actually plus 100. Like, you can go make a cup of tea and come back and continue your combo, and it will do so much. So it's not like you don't need to worry too much about being optimal or having the greatest mix on earth, but just, like, try shit and see what happens. Like, just throw your meter at him. Like...
Yeah, there's no, we kind of emphasized that earlier. It's like there's no point in really holding on to the meter for the next round because it doesn't really carry over. There were a couple of moments where we saw a wall splat and nothing happened afterwards. It's like those are other instances. Like if you're not confident in any of your like RC conversions or block strings, etc., I think finding those moments of practicing when you should use overdrive is pretty important.
Yeah, 100%. Like, and it can be difficult in this game to kind of get used to, like, when you just need to get a few, oh, crap, we got a Potemkin. Now, everyone in chat, I know you're big fans of Potemkins. It is going to be going up here against Chip, which is sure a matchup. If you're Chip here, I feel like you control a lot of the nooch. You kind of get to tap dance on Potemkin's face and do whatever the hell you want. Please don't get hit. For the love of God, don't get hit by anything.
Grab.
It's not even grab. If he just strikes you the wrong way, that could be it. But
that could have been the start of something crazy. No,
this is the start of something. I like
wrong.
going for the back throw there just to maintain the corner against his character, because if he had pot busted as the punish there, it would have just set him back to mid-screen again, right?
Yeah.
Help. That's gonna hurt so much. He's dead.
Jesus Christ. That was actually 50%.
And that punished a wake up DP. What a
That feels
gamer.
bad.
You notice he barely grabbed in that set, right? Oh my god!
Agreed. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Look at just all the damage coming through.
Yeah, oh my god. He could have spent a little meter there. Oh wait, he's still dead. It didn't even matter. I was like, I thought he could have RC'd to kill there. That's it. He that was so fast.
That's Potemkin in a nutshell, I feel like. When things go south for you, it's just gonna go really quickly. At least the hurt doesn't last as long. Like, you're not trying to get like mixed for like 10, 20 seconds. It's just like about like 3.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's the funny thing about Pod is that you just said, like, don't get grabbed, right? But it's like, he didn't grab him. He just struck him to death. He just kept hitting him, and it hurts so much.
I think Rainbow might have listened to my advice by accident and gotten hit instead.
Yeah, I know.
Just
It
trying
was...
to move.
I do. That's a smart idea, though. Like, that's a pretty common answer to when they're trying to do. If you don't know the Garuda, right? The little the little arm
Yes.
cannon.
I know a lot about Garuda and I hate it.
An intentional thing people do is they'll get hit by it out of a backdash on wake up, which kind of just shoots you across the screen, and it at least denies Pot the Oki that he would get off of you blocking it. So like you intentionally eat it to get away. But unfortunately, P-Cubed is gonna find the Abare there.
Sorry, you're a Capcom player. I should find the mash. Is that palatable to you, Vicious?
I mean, that works. I actually didn't know what Abare was for like the first like couple of years of like learning anime games.
No, that was
And, like,
disastrous.
Dude, what is that? Back Mega Fist?
Back
Earlier
Mega
in the
Fist is pretty
corner?
good.
It's such a good response on playing defense, like active defense.
He could have just RC'd there to kill him, but he's going to PRC forward. He wanted to end it in Podbuster. P-Cubed, you're disgusting. Don't do it for the chat. Do it for yourself. Just get the W.
Maybe that's the kind of person he is. Like, you don't know.
Oh, Rainbow Kaiju tried to go for the funny, but unfortunately... what? That was still active? I can't believe it. Oh, dude. Like, it's like P-Cubed is a grappler, but all he has is a normal throw. Like, he just kept normal throwing him to death, and he finds a defensive back throw there. And he's gonna take it 2-0. Good stuff from Rainbow Kaiju, but, like, it's so important against Potemkin to be able to make him regret every time he gets hit, right? If you let him keep scrambling and let him keep finding that mash, it's so dangerous. You just, like, especially as Chip, you cannot outslug this man.
No, it's definitely a problem when trying to like go toe to toe with somebody as dominant. I think I would say Chip is pretty dominant when it comes to striking, but like for the most part, if Potemkin gets in, like you better pray to God your defense is good enough.
Yeah. And it's like that kind of unfortunate situation where it's like if you're in on Potemkin but you're like -2, it's like you are in so much danger. Like you really need to be out. So like that last Sakugan kick there, he blocked the whole thing and then just back through because it's like you're right next to Pot. What the hell are you gonna do? Like,
yeah, I'm in danger. The good old Ralph Wiggum.
exactly. Everybody's Ralph Wiggum against Potemkin, but like especially Chip. Chip is just in danger that entire set. That is, I think that like the pot changes in the last patch. A lot of people still say Potemkin is pretty weak. What is the prize pool? We have the most prestigious prize pool imaginable. Are you ready to hear what it is? First, second, and third place are banned for life. They never get to play in Beginner Cup ever again. That's their prize. If you'd like to donate, all you have to do is that when we get up there, you need to hit me with an 07 in chat as we graduate our players and we send them off to places never seen again.
It's so funny being able to like experience this firsthand, but not directly as like a player, but rather a commentator to see who actually gets their ass busted away from Beginners Cup.
Yeah.
That's always a great feeling. It's like, get your ass out of here. What are you doing here? You weren't even a beginner to begin with.
Exactly. For the record, for those of you who don't know, we also do reserve the right to, if we see a player and they just straight up shiver me timbers, right? If they just scare the shit out of me and I think they don't belong here, we've done some early graduations where it's just like, hey, thanks for playing. Get the fuck out. This is
Get
ridiculous.
out of here.
Yeah, like, I appreciate you having the humility of entering this tournament and being like, I am a mere beginner. But, like, you're not. Get the hell out of here.
I want to actually try that myself. I want to see how fast I can get, like, either demoted or promoted.
Yeah, I know.
I'm
right?
actually quite rusty.
I mean, that's the thing. People usually say, they're usually pretty surprised. Oh, for the record, for region questions, we are North American focused, so typically anybody can enter. However, if you have a connection problem with somebody and they're just like, dude, I think this is unplayable, we will defer to being biased towards North America. So if you enter and you have an unfortunately bad connection and you're not in North America, we would ask you to take the DQ in that situation, just because like we are focused there, but theoretically anybody can enter. What I will say also is if you're not in a region you can play in this one, there are a lot of other people who have started, which for the record I've heard that they were inspired by me, which makes me feel emotions. But there are beginner tournaments in the EU and also EMEA in general, so like there's other stuff to enter for sure.
I want to know what like the Southeast Asia region is doing also in terms of like beginner level tournaments. I have to hit up Giuna about that to see. I think there might be some opportunities for like the Philippines, but I'd have to double check. If anything, I'd probably put it up on Twitter just to kind of answer that question, because I am interested in seeing what the future is going to be like for Guilty Gear as we move forward into the years, because we had such a spectacle over at EVO, being like the highest number of entrants out of all the games, considering it's its debut over at EVO. We already know that, like, I almost thought about that at EVO. But yeah, no, I mean, like, it was the first time seeing it. It's been out for a while, and I'm excited to see how it's going to play out with the rest of us.
For sure. Yes, the SeaWorld, I think, is the one. I'm so sorry for that person. I have to find them. If you look at the tournament channel in Sajam's Discord, people are always posting tournaments that they're hosting coming up, and, like, they're all great people. So, like, honestly, I would just big Control F in there and be like, beginner, and see if there's anything in your region, because I knew there were other stuff. Here we're going to have Hyrule coming up again, the spooky-ass Zato player that we saw earlier, and Puschetti, which I am a fan of that name. I'm a big Puschetti gamer. So we'll see what happens here. I think that's
who messes with the Pusquet.
Who messes? Oh, Puschet. Like we found out in that auction tournament at Combo Breaker that like the later at night it is on commentary, the more and more Staten Island-y I get, and so like I get increasingly Italian. So I mean I am biased here.
No problem with me. I love it.
Oh, I like that unsummon a lot. You saw Puschetti try to do the challenge. Hyrule unfortunately drops that. This could be disastrous. Yeah, that's a burst and a half. Dog missile on in, but unfortunately does not get the dog kick after.
Oh, a little bit too much cream on the marinara. That's why it's that color. Jesus, where's the blocks?
Mamma mia.
Dropping a big bow. I technically can't do that. So.
No, it's allowed. You're allowed to do it.
I mean, I've spent a good amount of time in Italy, but I haven't like gotten that certificate. So
yeah, dude, that JP, if you don't know, in the last big patch for Strive, they made Zato JP a straight up Kusoge button. It is active when you hit it to when you hit the ground. Basically, he's just poking. Like, and it was not like that before. So like it is a big thing now. His air-to-air game is so improved, but now we're really getting that country croc stuff that I was talking about before, and you see. Going for that pressure, Zato, not a character with a lot of defensive options here.
I was waiting to see what the mix was, if we've upgraded to wheat bread or it's rye.
Dude, Geo has no mix. It's just shimmy or not shimmy. Like, you're just scared of getting thrown 9 times.
Oh, boy.
No, a little bit of drop, but that's a messed up thing about Zato, is that is like a drop into just who cares, because he's still plus Zato is now on top of you.
Yeah, you pretty much get to set up even after that, right? You can still activate Eddie if you wanted to and be on your merry way. Like we saw what would happen in the corner. You just kind of like get your schmicks going. We saw the tap dust not being blocked again. It's tough.
Exactly. Well, I don't know if because Zato is a weird, complicated character, but the way that works, right, is when he throws the sword out, he gets his full Eddie gauge back. It's immediately recovered, and Eddie's right there. Eddie's where the sword was. So like he doesn't even have to send Eddie out. He's just already there, already doing shit. He's plus 100.
Oh yeah.
So you saw, didn't even get the opportunity to burst. So Puschetti's gonna, I think, have to turn on the heat a little bit. Maybe he's a little bit too al dente.
Yeah, you don't want to take it out of the oven too early. Or off the
Who's
stove, I guess.
baking their spaghetti?
No, I was talking about pizza, man. I was talking about pizza and the sauce.
I put my spaghetti in the oven like every other else.
So that's what I've been doing wrong the whole time.
Oh, but the Zato pressure is cooking. Oh, the overhead. She was too small. She was actually crouched. Hyrule was assuming he would get the fuzzy there, but Bisgetti was just on the ground. Was he whiffing full screen command grab?
That's what I was thinking about. I'm like, what was that just now? I was so confused.
He was
I heard the voice line. I'm like, what?
It reminds me of like in Third Strike where Akuma's forward medium punch overhead is throw invincible frame 1 in that game. So Akuma's tech throw with his overhead. It's just what they do.
Yeah.
And that's what that felt like. Like he was teching the dash and throw with the full screen command grab.
That's what makes the Kara Demon that much more potent, by the way.
Yeah, he's invincible to throws when he does it.
It's so nuts. And most people will try to parry it anyway, so that's why you get smoked. Anyways.
We're not talking about old man games. We're talking about some Zoomer games. Gets the jump in here, and now here. Yeah, I tried to backdash, but like backdashing Piercer there is scary because it guarantees the second hit of Piercer is going to put you in block stun, whereas otherwise there's kind of a mix for if you're going to like be hidden, right? Like between the Pierce. But now running this pressure in the corner, YRC.
Whoa! Forced the burst, but wasn't close enough to get a punish.
Yeah, punishing Gold Burst is a little bit harder, and you saw that the 5K just went straight through it. No, I respect the attempt, but now this is going to be a big, juicy punish. Yeah, Shark Bubble, dead.
I was going to say, like, with Giovanna, wouldn't she be able to at least drill through to get, like, at least some damage?
Drill through for what?
Oh, well, to get a punish on the burst.
Well, it was tricky because she had already committed to dash up 5K, and then it went through him on the burst. So now she's just at an entirely recovery frames for the 5K, and then Zato landed on the ground. So, and it happened so fast. I do not blame Sketty for just being like, because that wasn't there's the blue burst and the gold burst, right? That was not a blue burst. He was not in block stun. He thought he would be, and Bisgetti thought he would be, so he panicked and gold burst, and then Bisgetti with his normal was just like, So it was a scramble-ass situation for sure.
I see. Definitely Bisgetti. I get it. Living up to the name.
I do know for the record that sometimes you bake spaghetti. I'm saying you would not. That's not how you would prepare. You make the spaghetti, then put it in the oven. You wouldn't just take dry spaghetti and throw it in the oven. I don't think, unless there's some weird shit you can do.
Now I'm gonna look it up. Actually, I really want to know like what other things you could do with spaghetti. I almost said spaghetti. Damn it, with spaghetti.
I will say
many different ways to prep it.
All of my commentators have commented on that. Like the people who enter Beginner Cup have like the best names. Like they are like the funniest and most memorable names out there. And I gotta say, I agree. As we're going to this next match against Rebu.
What? Hold on, I gotta look it up on.
It's Rebu is the name.
Jeez. What? I hear you. No, I saw that person in the chat as well. But Rebu's pretty. I like that.
Yeah, and Moxie AM. I like Moxie AM. Like the radio show in the mornings. I appreciate it.
Moxie AM. Like you have the little jingles with like all the other lines and stuff.
Exactly, and it starts playing like
Damn,
car crash
we're old,
noises.
man. Like I didn't think you were that old.
Wait a minute. This Millie is a little high level.
Milia Khalifa?
This Milia Khalifa. We'll see. We'll judge.
Now you're on the radar. What happens here?
Well, it's on the radar. We'll let it play out. Well, hold on. The gun's still in the holster, Vicious.
Okay. Well, just for reference, Moxie had 2-0'd everybody on the way over.
They have, yes. Catches the toes.
That was sick. That was actually pretty cool.
That was sick, but now the Milia pressure is starting and gonna go. That should have been Winger, but instead goes into Hair Car.
Uh-oh.
Wow, what a big anti-air.
This is a character that I'll never understand, like with Anji. Like I
Anji?
got blown up by GC Yoshi in the beginning of Strive, and I'm just like, dude, what the hell is this character doing?
Yeah, absolutely. But UK, Rebu there, able to take that one game. So, oh no, whiffs the meaty throw. Gets able to back away from this disc. GC Yoshi is terrifying in everything that he plays. I think GC Yoshi is the biggest scumbag I've ever heard of for playing the mech in Tatsunoko versus Capcom, and that's just his reputation to me now.
I thought that was great. Two different people, clearly.
Yeah, right. No, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm a huge fan. Like, anytime I see GC Yoshi in a bracket, I'm hooting and hollering. Like, I love that boy. But it's just like, you piece of crap. Going for mids. Okay, wow. Rebu's blocks have been great.
Then the decision to burst too has been super smart. Oh, that's tough. We're starting to see the mix kind of wear down on Rebu's defenses though.
But, I mean, the great equalizer here is that, right? Being able to spin through a lot of Milia's pokes. And, I mean, if Anji hits you the right way, he does catastrophic damage, especially to someone like Milia. Unfortunate drop there and gets thrown by the Vanish.
Yeah, what are you supposed to do about that? Like, you just have to be...
Wow!
That's a great answer!
Yeah, that was a phenomenal identification that is a fake disc, right? Like, you don't have to respect that disc worth nothing.
Oh, and this is kind of tough. Milia's kind of put herself in the corner. Or mock some of that say, I should say.
Gets the counter, but it still gets hit by the disc. Oh, no. Unfortunate.
Oh. Oh, that's so high up. Oh, okay, I was going to say, if you could still connect after that, that'd be kind of nuts.
Did not. Okay. Moxie is going to take the big close slash there and is going to take that first game over Rebu. But that was pretty dang close. Rebu was like a couple of just big clean hits from really running away with that, I feel like, which is good for them. And Generic Soda is pointing out that they're getting the micro dash butterflies consistently, which is not easy.
I always forget that there's an actual dash button too. Like
there is.
And I'm not used to it because I don't play like traditional dash characters. Like I play Ino, right? So she has like a tri-jump. I'm like, oh yeah, these characters can actually do these kind of things. Like micro dashing is pretty convenient for them. It is still like, granted, there are certain situations where it's very difficult to get like some of these links or continuations, but man, does it feel good to have a dash button.
It's Rebu. Okay. Can you forgive me for pronouncing it incorrectly? I try my best. Okay, double close. I thought it was a reference to JoJo's or something. What do you want from me?
Oh,
Rose?
Slaps, by the way. A nice somber tone.
Yes. I think this is Birthday Train. It's a meme song, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yes, it is.
Dude, I don't know if Rebu knew that, like, the disc was still on him. Like, that hit him, like, so late there.
Oh my god! I pressed the button. I got frame trapped.
You got frame trapped?
I hella got frame trapped. He was just staring into my eyes so lovingly. What am I supposed to do about that? You know, like...
Bro, he tried to go for the 1 million. You burst, you madman! You absolute... You shed!
Oh, the conversion, that was sick!
Oh my god, I cannot believe he did that butterfly and then he countered on his wake up.
That's actually pretty beast.
That's so mean. Dude, every time Anji counter happens, I always just remember when Skullgirls is in development and they're like, yeah, we're actually making a good game where people don't have super flashes before their counter comes out. And like every time Anji's counter works, it's like the spirit of the Skullgirls devs are like crying. They're like, thank God.
Oh.
Spinning on through. Okay,
Man.
gonna be another quick punish.
Overhit! That was actually disgusting.
Yeah, so gross. Next hit here is going to kill. No RC. I think that could have been enough to kill him. It didn't have a burst, but just keeping it simple. Rebu is going to tie it up against Moxie AM. And I got to say, for the record, our bean counters in the back, Vicious, because we've got our team of player investigators in the background. They have said Moxie is they are in our confines for the tournament. So the big iron on my hip is put away. Moxie has played a lot, but as we all know, people learn at different speeds in fighting games, right? It's not entirely always a function of like hours put into the game, which nobody should ever feel bad about ever.
But 1,035 is pretty damn high. I'm not gonna lie. So it is, you know, granted, like when you're kind of seeing that number, it's like, wait a minute, we get it, or at least I get it.
No, we had a little bit of hesitation, but they've been verified to be cool. So Moxie AM, a.k.a. Milia Khalifa, which they should feel very bad about that name and for making me say it on stream. That's like a Majin Obama joke. Go back to the Doogie Chord.
I think, so I didn't realize it because I only see Khalifa as like, you know, the rapper name Wiz Khalifa, but now I understand. Now that I'm clarifying it, I feel just as bad.
If you're under 18 in the chat, yes, I love Wiz Khalifa. He's a great rapper. Gonna break the wall here. Rebu is now in dire straits. Gonna BRC forward. Oh no! Sniped out of the fan. That was actually a really great play, and that killed. Wow, rare footage of Milia doing damage. Vicious is breaking.
I'm just trying to, yeah, like I didn't realize it. I'm still stuck on like the name part. I feel so slow. Ah man, being pure of heart sometimes is really tough.
Yeah, we've all got hearts of gold. But actually, that FD, that pushed her in a really weird spot, and that burst is going to give him some initiative here. What an air throw. And now she's got no burst. She's got no defensive meter. Great tech.
Oh. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, you still get to press a button on the way down. That's the scariest thing, man. I've gotten blown up by that so many times.
Oh my god, wait, this is gonna be so scary. Not quite a wall break, the dust connects! You gotta burst, mash burst, mash burst. Didn't burst. Just took it in the chin. Oh no. Okay, then, oh, you know what? I thought that was the last round. Never mind, because we are now down to double Luigi. Good job not bursting. Actually, you're sick.
Oh, we'll take that. A little bit of an early burst, but you are like at a pretty huge deficit, right? Just a couple more throws, if anything. Blocking the overhead successfully. That was good.
Smart stuff. Reibu now getting a little bit of the mix, but Anji, if you don't know, he's one of the beefiest. He's got so much life, and most importantly, he's got top-notch guts. So now when he's down to this amount of health, you're going to see Milia's stuff really not doing much to him. He's going to fall into the fans. Immediate burst to try to see some initiative. He code over. Oh my god, the Magneto tri-dash down. The low connects. Is this enough? Nice. Reibu.
Damn.
Is going to take it.
That tri-dash actually looked pretty sick.
That was super sick. Anji Gaming. Anji's going to be moving on here. The terror of for those of you who are not here for the old Guilty Gear Plus R beginner cups, you do not realize that everybody in the Sajam Discord played Anji. This character is no stranger to being on this stream. Every single person had Anji brain rot. So, but now Anji, a little bit of a rare, and also frankly a little bit at a beginner level, especially a weaker character. Anji is so freaking stupid in Plus R. But now we love to see him.
It's kind of weird, too, because I was listening to, Horse Human, fellow Sajam fan, does show up to your stream every so often as well. He was complaining about Anji as soon as he was released in Strive. He was like, oh, I got my character back. Then put him in the lab. He's like, what happened? I'm like, what did you expect, dude? Like, come on.
Exactly. Okay, so we are filling out our top 8, which is going to be... Yeah, okay, so our top 8 winner side is filled out. Everyone in losers, it is a bloodbath down there. They're just smoking each other. I'll do a quick scan to see. Crouching Idiot has been knocked out, which is unfortunate that you did not get to see them, Vicious. They are one of our most storied players. They are, as we say, the main character, but unfortunately, this is the tournament arc where Crouching Idiot, they didn't get their heart medicine. They're going to have to sit out for this one. They're running across the big dragon bridge in the sky. They'll come back next week, but this week he's out. Not going to be in this big top 8, but on the winner's side, we have Hyrule and Reibu, and then we're going to have low-key Defu, who we've seen on a stream. If I remember correctly, I think is an Eno player, but I could be horribly wrong about that. Going up against Shrug.
That's going to be pretty cool. Looking forward to it. I mean, the way that Shrug's been playing, 2-0s all across the board, except for the match we saw against Atlas, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that was...
Same with Loki as well. I think Loki only has... Yeah, there was only one mishap that Loki had against Jackie Nuts where it was 2-1, but everything else has been 2-0. Even over Zael? Even over
Zael, yeah. Loki is... they've been here before. They've been in this top 8 situation. They've just not been able to clinch out that victory. It is so interesting, as I think I've maybe commentated and watched more beginner tournaments than maybe everyone else on Earth, and just like trying to, that's not totally true, but I think I'm up there. And it's really interesting how much tournament nerves and like how much you can just like be tight like later in a bracket like will outpace like where you're ranked in a game's like internal ranking system or where people perceive your skill level. Like if you're able to just like keep it together and have a game plan, you can make it really far. So like really strong players like Hyrule, who's here in this top 8, like I said, they've not been able to get into the big top 3, and I think some of that is I think they start to get impacted by nerves when they get this far in, so maybe they can steel themselves a bit harder this time. We do see the 4th Ed and Eddie brother slowly moving over. We'll see if he can take it over Atlas. I know Ed and Eddie are not brothers, for the record. I'm an Ed and Eddie lore expert, but I made the joke.
That was my favorite show growing up, by the way. There was just something so funny about these kids getting into like the dumbest stuff.
Yeah.
And actually having the answers and them just deciding, you know what, I'm not gonna do that today. I'm not that guy today or ever in the rest of the season. I don't know if you saw like the later seasons, but they were trash.
I like the movie, but then after the movie, I think it got weird. I thought the movie where they find Eddie's brother was pretty funny. But no, I was a huge Ed and Eddie fan when I was younger. Like absolutely, I was a big Ed boy.
Yeah. I don't mean to derail this one, but I don't know if you know this, but the lore in Ed, Edd n Eddy, it was actually based off of like the creator grew up in Glendale also. And he was talking about how Eddie is Armenian, and he was just growing up like his experience overall, like around Armenians. I think he was Armenian himself, but either way, like he was saying like that whole area that he like grew up on was actually in Glendale. It wasn't like any like random area that was just like kind of super suburban and then extremely not like on the other side. It was actually kind of weird.
That's so funny. Vicious, we're about to go into top 8. Do you want 5 minutes to go grab some water, look at some sheetrock or something along that nature?
What was the second option?
Look at sheetrock. Just look away from your screen for a bit.
You know, I'm gonna enjoy my coffee. Actually, I'm just gonna be chilling, hanging out here, probably taking a bathroom break.
Okay, cool. So we'll give you a big 5 minutes, everybody. We will be back. We'll be back. Not probably a whole 5 minutes. Vicious, just let me know when you're ready. But I'm gonna go grab some water, and we will return briefly with more Beginner Cup action. So we'll be back in just a little bit, everybody. You know, I always make it out like it's such a big deal when I go to get my water, and then I'm back in like a second because my apartment's not that big. How y'all doing? Are y'all having fun so far watching some Beginner Cup? How was your runs tonight, everybody? If you're out of the tournament, I hope you had fun. I see that Hi Me is out of the bracket. Hi Me, your homie. Also, I saw from JD the correction that Hyrule has finished 9th at most, which means I'm confusing him with a different Zato, and I apologize. And Ed is going to take it over Atlas. Okay. You actually won a set? Hell yeah, Neurotrace. We take those. I see Boss made it pretty far. Luminous Jellyfish has been knocked out. Starmute has been knocked out, the homie. Whale is still in it. Shoutouts to Whale, Fortuity. Showing that they are indeed fortuitous. Rainbow Kaiju has been knocked out. Two for your first? Hell yeah, dude. 2-2 also for Cross-Eyed. Crouching Idiot knocked out Starmute. He's a tough opponent for sure. 1-2 on your first time in Weebcup. I'm glad there's so many first-time people this week. Is there going to be a Labor Day Weebcup? Oh shit, is next week Labor Day? Well, I mean, I'm down. What are y'all doing for Labor Day? Do you want to play some Guilty Gear Strive? Did I ever decide on ECT? I'll hit you up about that, sorry. Vicious, are you back? Oh, Vicious, are you back?
Oh, hey there, bud.
How's it going?
Wait, I also have funny Ed, Edd n Eddy lore. There was for the record's sake, we're good now. If you want to get our players in here, we can get on into our next match. But I think it was like the Ed, Edd n Eddy GameCube game or something. There was like a special features thing on it that had like interviews with the creators of it. And the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life is that Eddie's voice actor looks exactly like Eddie, kind of like an IRL version of him. And like he's sitting there for the interview and he's like, yeah, so we were making the show. And it's just like, it is so damn funny. Like he's just like, he's sitting there wearing his like backwards cap. Because they're all very Canadian. I don't know if you know that, but that was like a totally Canadian produced show. So it's really funny to hear that like an interview.
See, now I need to see like what the actual origin story, like whether or not it's like based out in Glendale or Canada, now that you mention it, because it's like, where the hell did they actually base this show from?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I'd imagine there was so many shows from back then that were Canadian, like, filmed or animated shows about American culture like Are You Afraid of Dark and Goosebumps were both Canadian-made shows that were just trying to be American. Which, for the record, if you watch it nowadays, is so obvious because like they walk in and they're like, "Mom, what are you talking about?" And it's just like, "Oh my god, that is not a kid from Illinois." Like, it is so funny.
Now I need to check that out. Damn, you're blowing my mind with all this.
Yeah. So
to be fair, as a kid, I didn't even know Canada existed until freaking what's that one show with Drake in it? Degrassi. There was it's a term for it. It was called Canuxploitation, because something about like the Canadian government gave you like a lot of money to like film there. So like there was so many things filmed, which actually also, while we're just waiting for next match, fun lore for all of you. You like, as part of getting like government money to film stuff, you had to have like a certain amount of time on your show devoted to quote unquote Canadian things, which on Saturday Night Live is equivalent in Canada. That's why they had like a 5-minute thing where it was just Mike Myers and a couple other dudes just sitting there in like hockey outfits going, "Hey, what do you think, eh?" And like just being the most generic Canadians possible because the government was like, "You have to do it." Like, that's pretty freaking cool, though. That's a really good like stipulation. It's like, hey, you get to film in this area. Well, I mean, it all depends on like where in Canada, right? But I think there's a lot of nice places in Canada in general. But that's not a bad deal at all. Shoot, if they still have that, I'd be down to film anything in Canada.
I mean, see, I've been there before. It's a nice place. Okay, somebody else is here in the lobby. They're wearing the Red Knight outfit, which means I think I know them because I commented on that last time because I'm wearing the Black Knight outfit. And I mean, I do not like being challenged like this.
Well, one of them has a skirt on. Or that actually looks pretty cool. I really like the way it matches. No offense to yours, okay? I mean, like, yours looks cool too.
No, it's okay. You can knock my drip. It's fine.
Knock my drip.
Speaking of knocking my drip, this is going to be the first round of top 8. This is going to be Hyrule versus Reibu, everybody. Winner's side. This is still going to be first to 2. You do not switch to first to 3 until the finals.
I see. The last time we saw Reibu was literally like a couple of minutes ago when he was facing off against Moxie, right?
5 seconds ago, up against Moxie, where they did take the W.
5 seconds.
Hyrule is also, they've been the main character on the stream, I think, just by coincidence. They're locked and loaded. They're here to represent, trying to break out of that 9th place, which they did successfully. This will be their highest place finish to date, because 9th was their highest that they placed previously. So, regardless, they're going to do it, but I think they're hungry for that ban.
Man, this is a really cool tournament, by the way. Good stuff.
Appreciate it.
Really, really good stuff, dude.
We banned a lot of people, for the record. At this point, we banned so many players.
Ugh.
Yes, a sword break. That's disgusting, because now he's got full Eddie gauge, hard knockdown. Got to hold this frog for me real quick, and now you're stuck in the corner. Like, that's the thing about Zato, is even doing something there that sounds smart, like, I'm going to backdash, so it's a weird hit, right? So we can't really convert on it, get back to neutral. Eddie's just on top of you. Like, you can't escape. What's this JoJo pose?
It's super cool. I've never seen that win pose ever.
I don't know if I've ever seen a Zato actually let that rock. You know, you get Dio's voice actor, and you're just like, hey, he's going to do a Dio. He's going to do a Dio pose.
I still think it's super cool that Matt Mercer is the English voiceover for Zato. I think that's amazing.
That is cool, and I didn't know that until right now. I've never listened to this game in English. Gets the wall break. Okay, sorry. While we were talking about some nonsense, immediately Reibu is going to perfect right back at you. That's the volatility of Zato.
Ooh. That's going to be so tough now. Hyrule does get in full control. You can't really press a button here. The Orochi would have been dangerous had he not bursted, so Reibu in a great position now.
Yeah, and actually, unfortunately, missed that jump, and they're going to land right there. Dashing up, trying not to challenge the opposed that much. And Hyrule extended a little bit too much, and that's the worst-case scenario. You see the Eddie gauge is empty, and you're like a bull who saw red, right? You try to run in as fast as you can, but getting counter-hit there is so bad. The sword here going to give his energy back.
So problematic. He's got the Pierce Surge, just a lot of block swings. Block the tap dust, still gets to recharge the Eddie.
Oh, you can't block forever. Reibu gets a medal for how long he blocked there, but there's a limit. There's a limit to how much a person can do.
I wonder if they were able to squeeze like at any point in time, because that felt like a really tight block string through and through. Yes. I think there was just a bit of overdrive left on the side of Reibu. I wonder if there was going to be a part, like any sort of gap to throw in like the counter super.
I think I could be horribly mistaken, but I didn't really see any gaps there just because the RCs tighten stuff up. When somebody RCs in a situation like that, it can really make like the next thing into something like a block string. I could be wrong. I did not see much to challenge outside of maybe Piercer, but I think Eddie countering Piercer is risky.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't even know if like you get the full effect if it's like Eddie that's striking you. Like, how does that interaction work, right?
Well, Anji will just he'll just go for it. It won't go into he won't automatically counter. Like you could block him, but he will counter it and just go. But oh my god, look at that damage! That unfortunately, I think that should have been fan super. You're gonna leave Zato a little bit alive. And now you're in the corner.
Oh. That could have been so ambiguous. Jesus!
Help. Okay, Rebu has got a lot of meter here. I would love to see a YRC as some sort of defensive decision, especially now that the sword is going to have Eddie out. Please, YRC, get rid of the boy. Get rid of the boy. You can't hang on the meter for this long. That was so lucky.
That's pretty good.
If you YRC there, it will kill Eddie because it's a hurt box that goes out, right? So, like, that's something to keep in mind when you're on defense against this character.
Yeah. The only time you don't want to strike Eddie is during a pose. That's pretty much it. From my understanding, my basic understanding of the game.
Yeah, it's like during a pose, it can be tricky to try to challenge him in between like Piercer hits because while theoretically there is a gap, although they made it less of a gap now. Dude, Seinfeld just followed me on Twitch. How's it going? Shark. Oh god, Hyrule is now 1 round away.
Pretty popular around these streets, man. Seinfeld, the whole Seinfeld,
the
entirety of it. All right, he'll be going into the next round. Excuse me. Pretty important burst there.
Yeah, pretty important burst, dude. Like, because now any hit from Rebu, that was so good, dude. That FD push out so that 2D whiffed, and then the drill hit nobody at all. He's dead. Nicely played from Rebu.
You know, from the way that I've seen Hyrule perform early in the tournament, I'd imagine it would have been kind of one-sided once he got started, but it looks like Rebu has been consistently finding the answers to the offensive pressure.
I think he has too. I would love to potentially see more YRC, especially when you've just got meter burning a hole in your pocket and you need like a pixel, right? Because a YRC, it gives you. That's like the fundamental difference between like YRCing in this game versus like a V reversal in Street Fighter V is that you get Oki, right? You are plus 700 and in their face, and they have to guess for game. It's not a get off me. It's like, haha, my turn now. And that can make it really strong in those situations where you just need like one hit.
Oh, that's so huge. Sending the butterfly out to kind of stop the pressure from Eddie, I didn't even know. Like I rarely get to see these interactions.
Yeah, then that was unfortunately spent 100 meter to just fly straight into a post and get hit.
Oh my god!
The hell was that, dude? I'm scared.
What is happening? What is happening? The defense on Hyrule, that was sick up until that moment. Get thrown. What happens after this?
Butterfly. I think he might have tried to oppose that, but oppose has a little bit of startup. Not oppose, Drunkard. But, oh, Frog, I like that. Keep him pinned down. What's the mix? Mix is successful. Are we going to clap or are we going to sword? Going to sword it up?
I think we might need a sword heal, right? To regain Eddie?
Yeah, exactly. But he's a pixel, dude. Rebu. If you're going to YRC, this would be the time to do it. Oh my god, you know? Or you could be a gamer and use BRC to fly at him at Mach 9.
Breaking the sound barrier. Oh boy. Excellent defense. Up until that point, I don't blame you. That side switch was mad ambiguous.
Yeah, that was disgusting. Hyrule's gonna burst here. Rebu was close to building up his own. Dude, he's just spinning. Oh no! I feel like going for like low to the ground air throws in those situations is either like the biggest gamer or the biggest chump. The backdash to avoid the mix! Beautiful.
The defense on Rebu, dear God.
Oh, he's trying to co. He's gonna. The 6P was still coming, dude. Yeah, Ko's gonna keep him ground down. Yeah, you had to block that overhead throw. This is getting so close. Vicious, what's gonna happen?
I don't even know, man, but that butterfly needs to be a little bit closer to be effective. I think he's just trying to bait somebody out from Hyrule.
Oh, Hyrule's going for the 6 age. Okay, Hyrule's running this all the way back now. Gets the shark.
Sick.
Punish on this super.
Big Sharknado.
Swording it up, getting a little more Eddie meter, but Rabu has. Oh my God, he's just clapping on him, dude!
What is happening?
That was BS. He was. You can cancel Eddie moves into Eddie moves, and he was just clapping. He was just sending out drill after drill after drill after drill just to get as much chip as he possibly could, and we are now down to double Luigi.
That's kind of weird. I think I might have desynced. That's why I was like, wait, what?
Oh, what happened?
No, it was weird. Like both characters just kind of like sitting still. I'm like,
oh
this
no,
is strange.
Yeah, you might have. Are you back on now?
Yeah, I'm in. I'm watching it off your stream now.
Oh, okay. So, sorry about that. Good old
No,
Strive.
it's the game's fault.
I take responsibility. But Rabu now down so much life, and unfortunately that spin into the Fujin into the opposed was very aggressive, but great block on the tap dust. But the cross up is gonna let Hyrule get this corner control. Okay, wait. Anji's a character where, oh God, you are now fighting Eddie with meter. You are fighting Eddie con carne. Help. And that dash up 5K is going to take it. Hyrule's going to take it 2-1 over Rabu. Yeah, no, you didn't see what we saw, Vicious, but literally what happened is that Hyrule had him in the corner, and he just took out Eddie, and he held out his hands, and he just clapped on him for like a solid 10 seconds. It's just giving him a hand.
Yeah, I was looking at it, then I popped up your stream. I'm like, huh, the things that I was saying didn't sync up to what was on the screen, so I'm like, interesting. I'm like, I was listening to your feedback too when we were doing commentary. I'm like, I see where the problem is.
Ritru. Yeah, it's one of those weird things that unfortunately can happen. Unfortunately, for some reason, streaming Strive through Discord tends to make everything implode, and I'm not quite sure why. Like theoretically, my computer should be beefy enough for it, but something about it just doesn't like it. So real quick, we do have our full top 8, so I will read it from top to bottom. Let's celebrate the people who made it all the way to top 8. So we just saw Hyrule versus Rabu, and now we're going to see Low-Key D versus Shrug. Shout out to Shrug making it all the way to top 8. And then we've got Xyle, who we just saw earlier was knocked into losers by that Milia player. Going to be going up against Whale of Fortuity and Nore and Moxie AM. I think Nore is the only player that we have not seen yet.
Yo, how many people did we have into this this bracket? 64? You guys filled it all out?
We always cap at 64.
You guys are phenomenal, by the way. This is also like one, it's highly organized. I'm not just like blowing smoke up your ass on this one. Highly organized, mad fast, and it's been pretty enjoyable to like see like the people interacting both in the chat, like and in the Discord. So that's pretty freaking impressive.
Well, thank you very much, Vicious. Yeah, no, it's shocking. And for those of you who don't know, if you're interested in playing, I'm going to be making the new bracket right after we end, usually about 10 minutes after. It caps within about 20 minutes. So if you want to get in, you want to make sure you get in as soon as I post it. Yeah, we had a ton of people sign up. So this is Low-Key DPView, which I was right. They are an Eno player, so we are going to have at least one Eno in top 8, which I love this character. I mean, she's a despicable, disgusting, vile character, but I love her.
I think her game plan changed overall since like the buff. Like she's not really heavy on like the big strokes, right? You're just pretty much playing. You can play long range and close range pretty effectively.
Well, it's more just that the stroke nerf forces her to kind of like be more of a. She wants to use her move called Chemical Love, right? The laser across the screen. We're seeing a lot of dive kicks from Low-Key. I don't know if that's just specific anti-Milia stuff, but now this is when Eno's happy, right? Getting these corner hits. Did not have meter to break the wall, and Shrug's got $100. So.
Oh, could you have picked it up still? That was a counter hit. I think you could have, 6H probably, or 6HS?
It's awkward because Eno is, the way her hover dash works, she was kind of committed to being in the air there for a little bit. Like, she wasn't coming straight down. She was kind of going forward at first. So I don't think she maybe could have picked that up, but could be wrong.
Yeah, I think there's still a little bit of time for her to, like, get the freaking microphone stand going. And, man, I'm reminiscing on how many hours I put into this character. It's been so fun. Dude, I'm so glad she doesn't have vertical chemical love, though. That would be such a problem for everybody.
That would be such a problem. Everybody's like, give her back. Didn't even burst.
Yeah.
Shrug they did not think that was going to actually lead to the death, because I was actually not sure if they were going to have that pickup from that point, but Low-Key, immediately throw one on the board. Everyone loves watching an Eno player. Eno, let's be honest, Eno is also spiritually, I think, a grappler. Like, people love watching Eno, and then fighting her is like, this is the worst thing, because like she just gets in once and you explode.
One of my favorite things when actually testing out this character was abusing just like the tap dash into like the command grab super. I'm like, oh, this is a thing? Like you could just like do a fake safe jump, and then go into the command grab. I'm like, this is pretty busted. I actually got pretty high with this character. Just
Pretty strong.
Just doing that. Yeah.
Hyrule, what do you mean this is going to be one of your last ones, apparently? You're not in top 3 yet, brother, unless something else is going on. You got to fight for that,
I
right?
mean, he's calling it right now. He's trying to channel that energy.
Damn, this is gonna
But
be my last one, and I haven't even used
appreciate
10% of my power yet.
Thrown in the corner now. But you know what's funny about saying that, Millie is this... Oh, no! Hair card, that had to be Winger. Ow. You know, as a character who can make nasty comebacks, you have to be careful. Especially something...
Oh, right here!
Oh, no. Damage,
Did you
dude.
still get the wall splat? Oh, you're actually dead. You had
burst.
to. You had to. That
Beautiful.
was disgusting.
Beautiful. So smart, because that was absolutely what they were going to try to do. Hair car in, and then RC. Love to see it.
Oh, boy.
Wow, big hit in the air. But like I was saying, Millie, it's not 2P. I'm not judging.
We'll take it.
We'll take it. It's a little bit of a wall break, but that is a
Oh,
scary
that
thing.
was a nice 6P.
Eno is like, that's plus if you don't know. You got to hold all this stroking right
what?
under the 6P.
This character's so sick. In the air. Hella damage. You can set up for... Yeah, you can do empty jump low on that.
Actually got touched, though. And RC gonna let this kill? Yes. Okay, thank God. I wasn't sure. She like kind of moved all over the place on the ground. I was like, is she gonna get the hit?
I wonder if you could set up for note after that. Like, using super to break the wall, and then you still have Oki. Like, I wonder if you could set up for, like, instant air note and then dash
I
forward.
think you
But either
could.
way.
No, I don't. I think you don't. Yeah, you can't. I think that had to be a safe jump though. If you're dealing with Millie with meter like that, I think going for the empty low is a little risky to be honest. But I'm not the
True,
mixturization
yeah.
character.
No, it makes a lot of sense. Like, you'd want to go for the safe jump, which she has access to, right? That makes a lot of sense.
Got
Ooh,
tap
ooh.
of the overhead. That actually just should have just been super. Unless this is also gonna kill. Okay, no, you don't have those.
No, you
unfortunately.
dropped it after the dust pickup in the air. No.
No.
You can't. Yeah, she could just run under that.
Most
chemical
characters
dome.
can. A lot of characters get low enough to just get under HCL.
Yeah. Ooh.
Dude, I was saying it earlier. I was like, what are these dive kicks? It's that specific anti-Millie attack. And there, you are seeing it going straight over that disc. That was a greedy disc. You really... Doing disc in neutral like that is so risky. Especially against a character like Eno, who's constantly swinging, right? She is trying to end neutral today. Like, she's not going to be just sitting there.
That was so sick, too. I rarely get to see the dive bomb kind of utilized in that way, where it's like an active defense. And even if it's blocked, you'd still get the extension, right? Like, bounce off of the person and continue on, right? I think it works hit or block. I can't remember exactly, but...
Yeah, no, wait, sorry. For what exactly?
For Eno's dive bomb, like on block, she could still like do the follow up where she bounces off a person.
Yeah, she
like,
can do
you
the
dive
follow-up
bomb,
to
press the
bounce.
button, and then
There are things that are still consistent punishes to it, to the kind of thing where, like, if you start to catch on, it can be pretty risky. But she was honestly just whiffing most of her dives, which is a lot harder to punish, like, in a weird way. Also, wait, what did I say that was wrong? I said Hyro's not graduating yet. You have to get to the big top 3 first. Nobody has guaranteed their spot. If you are in winners finals, you're only guaranteed top 4. Wait, no, that's not true. Did I lie?
what is happening?
Wait, no, I'm bad at math. Hyrule is graduating. You're right. I'm so sorry. I thought Hyrule was only in semis. I'm sorry, everybody. Look, it's 9:10 p.m. My sun was in my eyes. My dog has been barking at me this whole stream. It's a problem.
You have to walk his goldfish, man, mentally.
Yeah, I had to walk my goldfish. You can see it right here. I'm not lying. I mean, I had me and this goldfish. We got shit. We gotta do.
I can't believe I set you up for that successfully. I was just talking, and that's kind of really convenient.
Here we go. Whale.
I'm
we
a
saw
sub to you on that one. Oh, I'm already a sub. Damn it.
Yeah, someone gifted you a sub at the very beginning of the stream. I
What?
appreciate-
Oh, thank you, man. I didn't even see that. My fault. Yo, thank you. That's huge. Sorry
Huge.
about that.
Massive. I appreciate the kindness there. But Whale of Fortuity here going up against Jail. Whale we saw earlier in the stream. They made it all the way to top 8. They must have had a brutal losers bracket. They just drew so much blood because I think they were knocked into losers almost round 1, right?
I believe so, yeah. I think Whale of Fortuity, we were trying to figure out what character this person was using. That was literally at the beginning. But made it pretty far. Oh, the Yo Johnson, that was instant arrow, right? So you have to block it as a high?
You have to block it as a high. That's what makes it so messed up. And then they patched it. So before when you... Oh, God, look at that. Ow. Baiken is a little bit of a, you know, as the Marvel 2 Shoryuken Wiki says, a little bit of a hemophiliac, but she got guts. So she'll bleed a lot at first, but it can be difficult to kind of shave that last little bit off. Ow.
Oos. Maybe not in this instance. Whale of Fortuity, striking first blood.
Exactly. Oh my god, that was a brave dolphin. You got to be careful using just dolphins against Baiken because 5S will cut it down cold. Vicious. Thank you for rattling my bones and gifting out the big sub to Hobo Ninja. You're a wonderful human. Thank you for being
Yo,
on the
man,
show.
trying to pay it forward. You know what I mean?
Vicious, you want to work for me later? Oh, thanks for the sub.
It is what it is, man. I'm just kidding. I'm playing.
I
No, I
appreciate
mean, like,
it.
it's obviously like no problem at all. Big fan of the work.
Oh, well, thank you. You're too nice of a human. But enough about me and you. This ain't about me and you. This is about the Whale of Fortuity and Zyle. Zyle is going to get the W in that round there. Was able to get the quick conversion, which I love. Yeah. So the big thing about Yo Johnson to keep around, right? To keep in mind is that they patched it so that it's like not bad on block anymore. It used to be where if you actually successfully defended against Yo Johnson, you were kind of good. It doesn't really work that way anymore. When I was on hit now, just a raw hit, she can kind of just get combos off of it. So like it's very scary to deal with, especially just in neutral. It kind of like slices and dices. But Zyle is going to take the big 50% here. Everyone's a gangster until you get hit by Mei.
It's true. That's the Mike Tyson, right? Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face.
I think they missed their Kabari there, and that made it so that they were not able to get hit by that super. They just did like 5H from like mid-screen, and like Whale had already committed to the wake up, and you saw there the low to the ground. Yo Johnson still able to keep their turn. Isn't that messed up?
That is super messed up, right? We already anticipated the safe jump kind of coming in because that's usually what happens after like a wall break off of like an overdrive, right?
Yeah.
But being able to extend that low to the ground with a Yo Johnson, that's freaky, man.
Which is it's a double overhead, and then it's not quite over. Someone in chat helps Soda. I don't think Yo Johnson that low to the ground is -14, right? Am I high? Soda, help. I only trust you. Everyone else, I'm sorry. You're a buster.
No, it's just low. Got him. Jabba says it is 14.
Yeah, Soda says it can be
Soda
plus.
says it can be plus.
That's what I'm saying.
It's very
That was
depending on the height, right?
Yeah, very low to the ground. That wasn't TK Johnson. That was jumping into Yo Johnson. That's the difference. It can kind of help her do those double overheads, and I think she can be plus.
Yeah, so even though Dust
See?
does say something is -14, that is just in like a regular scenario. I think if you hit later, like towards the later active frames, it could be a different story.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, Killmonk is saying that, like, generally JS into Yo Johnson is generally plus unless you're super high in the air.
sense.
Thank you. That's what I thought. I wanted to make sure I wasn't totally capping when I said that. Okay, big 6P. That's huge for Zyle. They're going to be able to get the side swap now. Those IBs were scary. That kept her so close.
Oh, the tatami into the low? Man, we've seen that option exercised a bunch by Zyle.
Yeah, vile. Because, I mean, you're expecting the Yo Johnsons. Like, he's been doing so many of them.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised we haven't seen like the middle of the character tatami mat or like middle of the character Yo Johnson to the other side, like the cross of Yo Johnsons.
Yeah, we haven't, but like setups like that can be a little too saucy. I feel like sometimes, and some people, you know, they're not that much of a nerd. They want their quick little. That's the mix, right? They can do high, they can do low. The crazier stuff can come later.
Yeah, I blame Deb for that. Like literally watching her tutorials made me think about like a bunch of mix-ups with this character. So.
Yeah, and there you saw Yo Johnson that was too high up, right? So there, it was actually a straight punish on the ground when she had landed. That's kind of the difference. Wake up super. Was she doing anything? She was not. This is gonna hurt. What? That was a Chicago punish if I've ever seen one, and now you're tied up. That should have been overhead kiss, brother.
That was the most Midwest thing I've ever seen in my life.
No,
I could feel
dude.
the spirit of Classico somewhere being awoken from his current state of smoking his brains out. This is actually the craziest thing I've ever seen. But I like it, you know?
Oh my god. For the record, I'm allowed to say that because I'm from Illinois. I can say that it's a Chicago punish, but that was so unfortunate. I think that was just a little bit of a brain freeze there. That should have been at minimum. I don't know what else May could really get, but I think dash up overhead kiss would have just killed there, right? Like you do overhead kiss, close slash, I don't know, make a cup of tea, come back, they're still in hit stun, hit him again. Like there was so much you could have done there that the run up throw was not the look. I think that was just a little bit of nerves. Not a single biking gun. I don't think there's that many opportunities to try to shoot May. Like, she's kind of on top of you.
Man, I'm actually still very surprised that it went down the way it did. Like, it does happen, you know. You do happen to get the nerves kind of kick in, but it's also the best part of these kind of tournaments, right? Like, and as much as you get to practice like certain matchups with players of your skill level, you also get to work on the mental game of like being under pressure, being on a stream, having people talk to you or talk about you from like different avenues, whether it's on commentary or in the chat. It's like you get to soak all of that in, and it's better to do it here rather than like on the big stage, right? Because then you could really like get deterred afterwards. It's like, man, I bombed it on stage or whatever. Like, getting it out of the way now is the best thing you could ever ask for.
I think that genuinely the two most useful things about these beginner cups, on top of people just gaining experience and playing, is like learning how a bracket works. Because like a lot of people ask questions like, "Oh, when am I on stream?" And it's like, okay, hold on, we pick who's on stream, and it's like, oh, you don't just do all the matches, and it's like there's 64 people in the bracket. It's like that makes sense. Like there's just a lot of like logistical things in terms of how it works. Like I always bring this up, but like the first time I ran a bracket, I was like, what's double elimination, right? Like there's a lot of like just weirdo things that like you don't really think about that you might just assume you know, and then you go into a bracket, you're like, I actually have no idea how this works. So it's like getting bracket experience, getting, like you were saying, just that sort of like the mental experience of, and I think the biggest thing that a lot of people talk about is just identifying how you act under pressure and learning to deal with it. Like if you know under pressure, like I will drop this combo every time, right? Knowing then, like I'm not going to go for it. I don't have to in this situation. It's not going to kill, right? Like just learning how you act in those states can be really, really useful.
Yeah, so again, the more you enter these tournaments, the more familiarized with these situations, and it's just going to be like better overall for improvement. I think just, you know, the two hardest things are actually just like starting the game up and entering the tournament. That's literally all you have to really worry about, right? Once you get those down pat, once you get those confidence boosters, then you'll be pretty much on your way.
Yeah. Also, whatchamacallit, Scythe Mark says not all matches on stream skill issue for sure. Yeah, I need to be like freaking the guy from the Matrix who's got the 500 TVs and I'm just like watching all the matches and I'm trying to commentate all of them at the same time. That would be the good stream.
That would be pretty. Ah, man, I feel like somebody's done that before where they had like multiple tournaments up at once and we're still. Oh yeah, freaking the jump off does that at Evo.
It does. Well, at least then there's like 5 people doing it, right? Like.
It was, yeah.
Dude,
I'm sure you can handle, you know.
I was actually like, I wanted the jump off to be at Evo, just because I think it's sick in general, but also like, I secretly think, not to like toot my horn or anything, I think like me and JM Crofts on the jump off could be really funny. Because, like, we have very similar senses of humor, and I think we're both just like, now what the hell's going on in that game? And somebody's like, this is disgusting. But, like, that being said, Evo is still sick. I like the way they ran it a lot. Like, the special programming stuff was cool. We all got to watch Daigo be sad and get beat up in Street Fighter 4 really bad. And we were like, oh.
What a huge turnaround. I never thought I'd see that redemption arc. Like, years later, that was, like, literally the first Evo I've ever been to. Like, watching that matchup unfold, I'm like, dude, this is the sickest shit ever.
Is the lobby
I had to
might
see it under like a back end of the screen too. Go
ahead. Real quick, if the lobby's full, if you're in here, can I ask you to bounce out until we get later in the bracket? I should have said it to more people, but they're having trouble getting in. It was crazy. I kind of didn't want to watch it, Vicious. I was like a little squeamish. Like once I saw the first round, I was like, uh-oh. Like I think Daigo's a little rusty in Street Fighter 4.
Yeah, what's sad is like I was commentating a match of Street Fighter 5 and then watching it from the producer screen at the same time. I'm like, this sucks. I really want to watch. Like I want to watch this like really like in its entirety, but I only saw it like in between like breaks and stuff. So
yeah, I was
pretty sad about that.
I was chilling there. Like I had a good spot, right? Because Strive was right next to main stage, so like I was kind of just hovering around there the whole time. And so I was just like I was watching like the Alex Valle match and everything. Which I did get to commentate from Street Fighter 5 that weekend, which was cool because Vi saw me and he was like, Bones, do you want to commentate a salty sweet match? And I was like, absolutely. He grabbed me and he threw me in a thing. And it was me and Dr. African commentated a match between Picaro and Crimson.
Where was this?
This was in the other suite. There was 2 Street Fighter 5 suites, and my impression is that one was the Salty Spittoon, and then the other one was like Weenie Hut General. The Vi suite was kind of Weenie Hut General. Everyone there was just like very nice and big chilling. And the other one I heard was a bit rougher.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I think I don't even remember when that was going on, but like I had to do like the midnight after party thing at the lounge, the Eye Candy Lounge, and then he was also setting up like exhibitions. I'm like, am I supposed to be here for that exhibition? Because you didn't give me any of the info, so I didn't even get to see where that was done. I was like, what the heck, man? I wanted to see those. I wanted to see those matchups, dude.
I was just going to my hotel room and Vi made eye contact with me, and I've commented in Wednesday night fights before, so he was just like, "Bones." I'm like, hi. He was like, commenting for me, and I was like, okay. But I think our one player might have trouble joining the lobby here. I'm waiting to see if they can get in. I think it should be.
Hyrule just entered, right?
Hyrule just entered. I think we were waiting for Norei and Moxie. Sigwin, do you want me to remake the lobby? Is it causing problems? Wait, I think they might have gotten in. Okay, Moxie's here. Should be good.
Very nice.
Should be Jacko and Milia. Oh, boy. You know,
I love how this, man, I just saw Jabas's statement right now. Like, how does that story always come up when it comes to talking about Evo? That's
well,
like, it's been like 100% rating.
It's been 100%. Well, like the actual answer, and I don't want to get into it, but like I feel like for everybody, it was kind of our way of like acknowledging it at this Evo without actually talking about it. It's just like we just that's it. That's the entire statement, right? It's just like, oh, dude, I heard someone shit in the elevator, and everyone knows what you're talking about, right? Like everyone knows what you mean.
It's gonna be just as infamous as like Evo Moment 37 eventually. You know what I mean? Like there's two different associations of like how you got into like knowing the FGC or at least knowing about Evo. It's either because of Daigo or because of the elevator.
Would you call it Evo Moment number 2?
Shut up, Bones.
Moxie AM going up here against Norei. This is going to be Jacko versus Milia, which I'm not going to lie. This is a matchup that I'm going to try my best to understand, but this is a weird matchup. I don't think this is one you see too much. Two characters, although a lot of people probably at this point would put Jacko above Milia power level-wise since the patch. A lot of people are down bad on Milia, even though she got a lot of buffs. But like, you know, legendarily, LK after Evo said, Milia's done, she's dead to me. And he's moving on to greener pastures. But gotta be able to get Winger here. No, dude, where are the Wingers? I feel like this may be a big read, and I don't mean for this to sound harsh. I feel like the only thing holding Moxie back sometimes is some execution. Like, it feels like there's just a lot of little mistakes that add up because as Milia, leaving people alive and stuff like that can be so scary because she can't slug.
No, that pretty much separates you from like the beginners to like the advanced levels, is being able to take advantage of the damage that's on the table, right? You want to make sure you take all of it. Oh, Jesus.
What a PRC.
That was actually so smart.
That was so smart. That's one of those things where it's like people see that and they're just like, wow, that's sick. But it's like she was RCing anyway. She was just going to do hair car RC. So unfortunately, that is, because people always ask, what does it mean to do a bad burst? That was unfortunately a bad burst because she was going to RC that every day of the week. And then during that RC, she was just like, I think she's bursting. I'm not sure. And was able to just block it really easily, right?
That'd be kind of funny. Like, you have me over here, like, well, actually, trying to freaking overanalyze it. I'm like, oh, okay, well, that makes sense.
Oh, excuse me, Screamer. You guys know a sick, nasty burst beat.
I got baited pretty hard.
It's
I'm
actually,
not gonna lie.
It's something to look for if you watch Strive. If you ever see someone RC and block the burst and you're like, how did they know? Even if they're not visually bursting yet, if the RC goes out and doesn't hit anything, that means they're starting to burst. And so that's why you see a lot of people just stop and just block because they saw that the RC didn't hit anything.
Mm-hmm. That makes a lot of sense.
But now stuck in the corner against Moxie, falling JK, but wasn't able to get anything off of it. No punish. I feel like Norei is playing very passively, and part of that is just they're obviously getting locked down. She was in the middle of a mirage. That was really unfortunate timing.
There it is.
Winger this time.
The damage!
Yeah. Against Jacko, when she's got 5 health left, Winger can kill.
Yeah, I don't know a damn thing about Jacko. I mean, I've seen the previous iterations of this character, but the only thing I know is the big trend that happened when she was released. That's all I know. She doesn't have the houses anymore, right? She lost the house. She still
doesn't
has the
have
kids,
the houses.
though.
She still has the kids. You know, she's still a Twitter meme. Artist lover.
I
But
believe it.
getting the disc Oki here. Unfortunately, no block from Nore. Nore has just not been able to get started because Jacko in this game, like when she actually gets going and has her minions on you and is like pressuring you with them, she can have just as strong as lockdown as anybody else. But unfortunately, Nore was really not able to get going there. And Moxie is going to take it over Nore with a really quick 2-0. So Nore is going to be going out here in 7th place. They're going to be tied up with Whale, both of you 7th place finishers, but getting the top 8 for the record in a bracket of 64 people, pretty hard. Doesn't matter if it's a beginner bracket or whatever. Like, there is a lot of people who are going to be there to beat you up. So you should be very proud of yourselves. I think Nore, unfortunately, I guess, especially against a character like Milia, Jacko's got the tools to lock her down when she makes her block something, and it felt like it just wasn't there. On top of that, unfortunately, some bad bursts. Like, there's no way about it. Like, there is a difference between bursts that don't really do much versus bursts that get you actively killed, right? Where, like, both those bursts let a new combo start, which is the worst case scenario.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's one of the important things about it, right? We talked about some of the nuances of fighting games that you need to work on is also, like, you know, talking about reviewing the VODs too. Like, there's certain moments where commentators will kind of highlight your play and be like, hey, man, there's this that you could be able to fix. Like, that's the easy gimme. But I think for the most part, highlighting when you've gotten opened up or like where you've taken the most damage is like one of the basics you could do to kind of fix what's missing in your gameplay, right?
Yeah, exactly. Moxie says so many characters in Strive, you just don't want to let play or else you die. Exactly, but that's like the way a lot of characters are. And also, like I was saying earlier, that's how a lot of these beginner tournaments pan out because defense develops second. Like, offense almost always develops first. And then you're like, oh, shit, they're hard to block. How do I, like, do that? And then that takes a lot of time to develop. So, like, especially in a bracket like this, a lot of it turns into who can win neutral and then who can let the other person not play ever again. And I think this is going to be Zyle versus Rebu. And you don't know the Guilty Gear lore, Vicious, but this is a canon matchup. They are brother and sister.
Word. I wouldn't have guessed it. I actually wouldn't have guessed it.
I'm sorry. I'm gaslighting you. I'm just trying to make chat mad. But Rebu and Zyle here going up against each other, and they're picking the best song in the game. I'm a big fan. Oh, wow. I can't believe her far slash actually recovered fast enough there. Because, like, Anji, usually if he twirls through, like, a slash, he can actually get, like, a big punish. But Bike can sheave that shit real quick.
Ooh. You know, I'm still stunned by the false information, but I'll tell you what right now, this... Okay, never mind. I was going to say this pressure is about to be real, but disregard it.
Help. Oh, God, help. The butterfly made the wall stick, but there was no super. He thought it would kill. Biken's got a pixel, but this would be a really hard comeback to make. Yeah, the chip is going to be so bad there.
God, he's so fast. I don't remember Anji being that fast when it comes to setting up the overhead.
It's very quick. The overhead can be really difficult to deal with, especially if he kind of occupies your brain with so many lows. Even though the lows are unsafe on block, especially if he's got meter, he can make it feel like it's just a free thing he can do. Not quite a wall break, but actually, you know, I think there's a rationale for maybe not even breaking the wall yet. Waiting for a little bit more damage. Butterfly break that time, and still not dead.
Just one touch away, though. Oh, that was a big interruption from Zyle, but Big O Johnson from the other side.
Yeah, but pixels left. You cannot trade with this man. Okay, the Kabari connects. This could actually be really bad. Raven does not have meter. This is going to be able to be a wall break. Not quite. Just keeping it.
Oh, no!
How does it feel, Biken? How does it feel for someone else to counter on your Oki, huh?
I haven't seen that option exercised at all, actually, from Biken. I forget that she also has a counter super.
She doesn't have a counter super.
Like
she just has a parry.
Oh, it's a parry. It's not like a counter super. Oh, yeah, no, you're right. Sorry about that. Yeah.
We saw it earlier in the bracket once, and it did a billion damage. It's always scary, and you have to be prepared for it.
It's fat damage.
It's huge.
Why is it fat damage?
You know what it reminds me a lot of is Colleen's EX counter. Like, is just heart-stopping damage. It's like the
230
scariest.
plus.
Yeah, it's nuts. I think the low version does like 260. It's crazy.
It's insane. It's actually insane. Who gave him that?
I don't know. It stands out in that game. There's not a lot of other stuff that does that much in one hit. But, oh my god, a big corner break here already from Rebu. He's trying to run over Zyle right now. Not able to get started. Help! You saw the little bit of patience there, trying to see if they burst quickly, which I respect Zyle holding on to it. They're like, this round's a wash.
Oh, that's a huge starter, but...
Yeah.
Having the early burst, not too bad.
Not too bad. Getting the burst early also is like a privilege because it's like, thank God, now I'm building burst. Right now it's like a resource you're actively building.
Oh, and that's the mix that I've been waiting to see.
Yep. I call out the behind the backboard. Yo Johnson, and now it's PRC mix. Gets the low. Dude, look at this. Look how disgusting this was. That was a pure 50-50 high-low, and now Anji is on pixels. Well, you know, there may not have been a Kai in tonight's bracket, but there's one spiritually. Running up and throwing.
What is the actual relationship between these two? I'll ask that later. Either way.
I don't know. I don't know. They're both from Japan. I don't know if they know each other. They're coworkers. They work at the same office. I have no idea.
I believe it. Oh.
Okay. Ko connects. Oh my God! He actually co'd over Kabari, and I think he might have hit the startup of 6P or something. But now, good block on the 5D.
A good recognition from Rebu as well. Like from the other end, like being able to RC that too. I think he was going to go into it regardless, right? Hit or block. He was going to try to RC to get maybe like an extension.
Exactly. You have the right read entirely, Vicious, because Rebu is going to take a 2-0 there over Zyle. For the record, in case you don't know, I intentionally always say not right Guilty Gear lore. I know some of it actually, but I always just pretend I don't. Like, Kai and Soul are brothers and Justice is their mom, right? Easy. Like, bam. I just made that. That's, you know, the way it is. Which everyone will chat.
That one I actually know, but, you know, if I didn't, I'd be like, oh, well, that makes sense. Mom gave him toys to play with, and they never got along. Yeah,
exactly. And Cliff is their dad, but Cliff is dead.
Oh, no. Cliff's tight.
Cliff is everybody in the roster's dad.
Yeah, he's gone, is what it is.
Yeah.
He gave birth to a bunch of different... Anyways, we're not going to get into it. I'm not going to get into it. I've got some really grimy lore on that because of the Family Fun Arcade stuff that I've heard about in regards to all the other characters. Don't worry about that. I actually didn't know that Baiken was a secret boss in the original Guilty Gear.
Yeah, she was. She was the big secret original boss. Congratulations, multi-tank Dorifto. You have stumbled across the joke. You found it. You've hit pay dirt.
I don't know. That's
the joke alarm. But next up is going to be Ryber just beat Zyle, and they're going to be moving on. We're going to have Shrug and Moxie. This is going to be violence, I think, too. This is going to be nuts, because, like, Shrug has proven they're a very strong Milia, but so has Moxie. But I think it might be kind of the case, if I'm making a read right, and we'll see how this plays out. Here's going to be my commentator read. I think Shrug has a little bit better, like, conversion and general game plan. I think, like, they tend to, when they hit you, it tends to be, like, and they tend to be able to find those neutral hits a little bit easier. But I think Moxie has grosser mix. So we will see how these combine. That being said, they're both Milia. They're both disgusting, especially that name. Holy shit. But I kind of forgot. Moxie here is going to be going up against Shrug, everybody. The Milia Mirror. Whoever wins, we lose.
That's usually how it goes when it comes to anybody with Milia as their main, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And nice. Okay, Shrug able here to kind of get her into the corner, just spacing it out with that, which I love. And I mean, that's kind of what I was talking about earlier. I feel like Shrug is better at turning those neutral hits and just getting so much corner carry out of them. But there, we're seeing the low connecting, gets the burst.
Ooh.
Ow.
I can't even figure out who's who. Okay, I see it again. Sorry.
Wow. What a pickup off that Rose.
Yeah, you weren't kidding when it came to conversions, right? But now it's looking like, you know, Moxie might be taking a page from Shrug's book.
Yeah, or Mirage forward. Nice dash up winger. That can be a little tricky for people sometimes. But still alive. Wake up winger, wake up winger. Not quite. Wake up dash, and now the Rose connects. This is so scary because Shrug has got $100. This should definitely be enough to put him away. Winger. Didn't even need it. 2H.
It's like you're fiending for the winger. It's like, you have a spare winger?
Yeah, excuse me, sir. May I trouble thee for a winger?
It's what I mean. It's one of those.
Like the merchant from RE4. What the hell?
Thank you.
It's one of those things that, like, dude, you know what's so funny is there's definitely some people in chat who are like, oh, that's an Eris reference. I'm gonna, like, find them and punch them. It's the kind of thing where breaking the wall with super is so important, right? Because, and it's not going to matter here, Moxie's going to easily get the kill. It's so critical because not only does it do a grip of damage, but also it shows that you have good control over your wall situation, which like comes with time. I think it's like a big like difference in terms of like beginners versus like intermediate players, like consistent super wall breaks. And here, Moxie really able to get it started, just gonna go into hair car, but look at the life differential, bro.
Super important too, because look at that. All the meters she gets to build after that is so nuts. Just everything you get off of like a wall splat is so nuts, man.
It is so
It goes
nuts.
such a long way.
But this is gonna be huge, right? They're gonna be able to get their own wall break here. No!
Not what we were talking about earlier, right? You might as well spend it since you're going to be in a positive bonus regardless.
I think it was a misinput. That looked at like that is the setup for Winger. I think that's gonna work because I saw the 2K. You know what?
Damage.
Beautiful. I think that just killed. Dude, Shrug with the reversal Winger. Showing that it's got the sauce. Gonna go up 1 point here over Moxie. Whoa.
I was curious about Winger on Wake Up. Like, is that going to be viable? Because you were talking about it being a little bit on the slower side, I think, unless I misunderstood you.
No, yeah,
but
it is slow, but I mean, if they do like a meaty 2K, it will probably catch them, right? There's exceptions. There are some setups where that shit works, but like usually in this game, the thing you mostly get away with is like a safe jump, right? You don't really get to like meaty 2P someone and have it be okay. Like you're usually a little more committed, so it can work. Again, the biggest problem is that Winger is short ass range. That was almost the sickest burst bait of all time, but they kind of just bursted it and did nothing. But they get the hit here.
Oh. We were talking about the mix-ups that Moxie has.
Yeah, and actually too far away.
Like the toe-to-toe matchup.
Did you see them trade close slashes there? Help, there's been a car crash.
That was pretty sick. Oh! Yo, chase down whatever movement that was. That was pretty sick.
Nice conversion there, Moxie. They are mad. They were like,
That Winger was random, and I will not allow it.
this is probably they got an A. Is he a teacher?
What's the highest ranking that you can get off?
I
of
don't
like,
know. Everyone's letting victory animations play out. I haven't seen them like ever.
I've never seen them like at all. Yeah.
Dude, he beat
What?
6P with run up 6P.
How does that work? Like, does the running animation like duck under the 6P and then he just punished the recovery of it?
He just did it second, so his upper body invul started later, so he went through.
That makes sense then. Yeah. Because I figured like on startup it would have hit, but
Didn't
maybe
even
not.
burst Moxie and actually got the break there with the 100-hand hair slap.
100-hand hair slap. Hot. God bless.
What it is?
I know. I agree. I think that's great. Oh my god. I love, what is that, close slash?
Yeah,
As an anti-air?
Close slash is such a good button, bro.
It's so good.
She's done 4 close slashes. That'd have been most of Shrug's life bar.
Oh,
Help.
was it just disc? It was raw.
Bro, this is be very scary. This could be so scary. They do not have a burst on the table. So any hit here is going to be huge. RC going to be able to get a little pressure. YRC, my turn. Okay. So scary. Moxie definitely has the little bit of the advantage here just because of the meter lead. But oh my god, they're just moving. This is so silly.
Oh, actually dead. Nice work, Moxie, on the pickup.
Yeah, that's going to be tied up. 1-1. 1-1. Hispanic at the Disco. Thank you very much for the big sub. I really appreciate it. Big 5
What a beast name.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
That's actually a beast name. Time to bone up. Damn, you guys are freaking cool, man. I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, what is the name? And then when you dropped it on me so like abruptly, I was like, oh shit, that's pretty beast. Anyways, neither here nor there. We're going into the next part of the set, right? Moxie versus Shrug.
Yeah. This will be the last game between these two, the big old million mirror.
Say that 5 times fast.
Yeah, I know.
Please don't. I don't want to be responsible for you like biting your tongue. Oh Jesus!
Wow.
Oh no!
Dude, that was such a gross burst bait.
Canada.
That wasn't Canada. That was a straight bait. That was just that burst would have worked, especially because in the last patch, Vicious, they made it so that bursts don't go as high anymore when you're in the air. So you tend to be closer to the ground. So they actually work in those situations. But gets that mix, and I mean, Shrug has definitely got a read. Or sorry, Moxie has definitely got a read on Shrug's defensive tendencies. So Shrug is going to have to find a way to get started here.
Either way, kind of schnasty.
They're
Moxie
kind of
looking real nice.
vile with it.
How much does she have to like wash her hair out? Because she could let it like touch the ground. Look at all this, man. Look at all the dirt. Not even just the hair, but the mix-ups itself. Jesus, Moxie, please.
It's magic hair. I imagine it cleans itself. But, oh, God, this could be it, actually. This could be a wall snap. Nice, it is Moxie. He's going to send Shrug home, moving on through this loser's bracket. I think Shrug, unfortunately, there's, like, a couple ways, I think, to lose the mirror, right? Because mirrors in fighting game are tricky because, like, they're not... A lot of people would be like, a mirror, a true test of skill. And then other people write a 400-word Twitter essay about how it's not. But when you play the mirror, there's a couple ways that you can lose it. You can either lose it because you have, like, weaker conversions in that set, or maybe you just have less of a neutral read on what they're going to do, because a lot of it boils down to RPS. But I feel like in that situation... Moxie just really started to get the bead on what Shrug was trying to go for in neutral. They're going for like a lot of neutral jump H to try to catch like air movement and stuff like that. I really think, unfortunately, in that situation, Shrug was looking a little bit lost as to like, how do I approach Nilia? And then when they got hit, they would just get mixed at F and die, right? So it's just the way it be sometimes. We all know how we feel about the mirror match, but Moxie is going to move on, placing themselves in potentially 4th place, because they're going to have to fight Rebu to move on to this bracket. And as a reminder, Vicious, want to know who knocked Moxie down to losers?
You know, you can hit me with it. I do have it currently loaded, but...
It was Rebu. So this is going to be the run back on loser side. Before we get to that, before we get to the maybe the bloodthirstiest match of the evening, we are going to have to pop up to the winner's side to have Hyrule and Low-Key DFFU fight it out. This is a matchup that is very, for some reason, I feel like more common than it should be. Like, it's these... Zato is a very strong character. Ino tends to be a little bit rarer, because I think she's seen as a little bit weaker in this version. But, I mean, we have, like, Gobu versus Diaphone, and also, like, Gobo versus Diaphone and Daru, sorry.
Daru, yeah.
And then at Evo, we had Daru versus the Zatos, right? We will just call them the Zatos.
Dude, I was so happy. It felt like it was like a weird like celebrity moment seeing Daru play in person. I'm like, dude, I've been watching your stuff since the game came out, and I was inspired to keep playing this character. The guy's so cool.
Isn't that sick?
It was actually like the coolest thing ever. I stopped what I was doing for like 5 minutes because I had to go to like block to block, and I'm just like, oh my god, Daru's on the stream.
Yeah. But we were hanging out right before that. We were in the back watching the Bridget trailer, like right before Top 8 started.
True. Yeah.
And you had just gotten off your Street Fighter block and you were dying.
Yeah, I was exhausted. But man, it's just so cool that we actually got to see the highest levels of play over at EVO. That was pretty.
It was awesome. It was such a good Top 8. I really aside of the person screaming in the crowd, there wasn't that much that happened. That was like, it was very like well played. But speaking of well played, this is going to be Hyrule versus Low-Key, and so very interesting matchup, right? Obviously, this is kind of unstoppable force versus unstoppable force, and so like a lot of times it comes down to who gets the corner positioning first. And right now it's looking like Low-Key, but what a wonderful poke!
Oh God, what is happening?
YRC, that's bold. So if you don't know, one of the biggest things about YRC in this game, Vicious, is that oh my god, it posed. One of the biggest things about YRC is it actually locks you out of building meter for like 10 seconds. So using it can be a little risky because now Low-Key has so much less meter than they would have otherwise. But they want one more hit here, which is going to pop the wall. But this big 6B connects.
Oh, Jesus. Let's see what the defense is like for Low-Key.
Wow. Dude, did he break the law under her? That is vile. That is disgusting. TK sword? Why?
Why not? Oh, the tap does.
And that's what's so scary about Zato. That's what makes him, a lot of people say, such a strong character, is because if he, no matter how little life he has, he can kill you in a way that you meaningfully usually cannot get a poke back, right? Like, if he does not walk up to slug with you, he walks up to lock you down. So, like, you really have to kill this dude once you have your hands on him.
Oh, boy, my game is absolutely desynced.
Why has it happened, like, twice?
I don't know. I genuinely have no idea.
It's just you have a lot of unsavory mods installed, and that's what's causing it to happen.
Probably, dude. I have so many windows open. I think that's what it is. No, actually, I only have your window open and the stream chat. What the hell?
All right, we'll do a bit of play-by-play here. Loki has the initiative now and doesn't have the meter to close it out just yet. The YRC towards him, but oh my god, burst. Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to in this situation.
Jesus.
Overhead connects.
I was waiting for that. Yeah, there's been a lot of instances where Loki would actually throw out some fake safe jumps with like dash heavy slash to kind of keep Hyrule guessing, but then he would immediately go into another dash into dash S, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's the mix of Eno is just when she's twerking on you like that in the corner, it can literally just be a high or a low, and there's no meaningfully way to like fuzzy react to it because she can delay it so hard. And there you see the double overhead, which is also the mix. You can do that JH and do a JD. So there is a gap there, but you're taking a big risk trying to hit it. The super is going to work, but actually it traded because Oppose was eating some of it.
Such a good trade for Loki. Like 9 times out of 10, you don't mind taking that at all because you get rid of 2 things and also a ton of life.
Desperation stroke. The 5P connects, but nothing behind it. Eddie's dead. Dude, she just Goomba jumped off Eddie, and she's got to dive back down. It's Zato. Dude, she is actually playing Super Mario Brothers out here.
I have never seen that many dives play off in that way. Also, dive bombing the Eddie was super sick because we talked about this earlier. This one tactic that she has, like once you dive bomb, hit or block, you get to follow up afterwards. I'm like, dude, that is very specific to the matchup. That is very, very keen knowledge that Loki has specifically for Zato.
It can be spooky though because if Zato sees it, he can just start 6P'ing when she's coming down, and like that will clobber her no matter what she does. But I mean, every once in a while, that reminds me of like in Smash Ultimate, like Richter dive kicking off like a Pikmin or something like that to like recover. Like it's she's just Goomba jumping all around. That was very silly. But now has Oppose out. The goal burst works. That was so high up, dude. Are you back in sync with our reality, Vicious?
I believe so. I'm at 80 seconds, or now I'm at like 76 seconds. Is that where you're at?
Yeah, seems to be.
Yeah, I'm just seeing the bus ass right now from Loki.
Yeah. Loki's holding it down. Hyrule, though, able to switch around, get some of this corner positioning. Look at the damage on this dude.
Oh, lordy. Oh, lordy.
Dude, going for the slumpy stuff. I love to see it. Learning to properly slump can be so scary. And now he's got 50 cash. Wow, what a meaty. Dude, still go for slumpy? Unnecessary slumpness. But you know what? We'll take those. I feel like there could have just been a sword there, and it probably would have killed her.
Yeah, that's true. I was thinking about that too. I'm like, is there any reason to actually go for a reset here? Because there's enough damage to kill, right? Oh boy, speaking of damage.
Sometimes it can be awkward in those kinds of situations for what you should go with, but these dives, again, are still working out. Tried to 6P there, but she wasn't home.
Trying to get a signature on that delivery. Nobody's home, though?
Yeah, nobody's home,
Sending
though.
it right back.
Wow.
Oh, no, the schmixture.
Gross. Anytime you block a jump in from Eno, it's terrifying, right? Because you just don't know where she's going to be next. No super. Right? That should have definitely been super, because now Zato's back in neutral. Going to immediately go for clap, and this is going to be huge plus frames.
You did the burst. The note pretty much sailing right underneath.
The dives are still working. Hyrule has not quite found the answer. I feel like he tried to 6P there, but that super's going to work! Low key.
Yeah, you get to catch that hurt box on the way over. That pretty much, well, on startup, it's actually fantastic, right? It's a great reversal that Eno has.
Yeah, it is. Punishable in the middle, but a great reversal, and then obviously also super useful in neutral, just in terms of like being able to seal plus frames. Probably one of the most Swiss Army knife supers in the game. Like most other characters, they have like 2 supers, and you kind of like, they have different uses. That one is just like, yeah, it does everything you want. Ooh.
Oh, dear Lord. Throw it down. Afterwards.
The drills. Nice. Okay, Hyrule's going to tie it up.
So it's funny. It's like the adaptations that we were talking about prior to like this match starting, like we didn't even have to see that kind of happen. We saw a couple of the dive bombs, but that wasn't even like the case of like why he was taking damage, right? I think it was all the grounded mix-ups that are pretty much taking down a lot of Hyrule's life. But
yeah,
once he got started on offense, that wasn't really the case anymore, right?
That's the thing with Eno is I think you have to play her as a one-shot character, right? It needs to be once you have your opening, they are dead. And Zato is also that type of character. I think the big differentiator in this matchup in that last game was that I think Hyrule was being a lot more of that one-shotter. Like, you don't want to slug with him. Like, you want this to be the end of the round. You do not want Hyrule to play anymore. You want him to return it to Blockbuster.
Oh, geez. And the opposed pretty much set up Hyrule for getting clapped on, actually.
Yeah. Ooh, plus frames. Oh my god, that actually punished the YRC. That's so sick. I don't know if I've ever actually seen that interaction happen before.
Oh, I thought that was going to be a grab. You faked me out, that's for sure. Ugh, the HCL.
What a footsie punish against that 2S.
Yeah, this is sick.
Oh, see, that's the problem with trying to go with dive is Zato 6P is a little good.
Trying to test with their own 6-speed, like pretty much precautiously.
Dude, these dives are killing him because it's like, now I see what the actual mix is there. Low key is like, hey, I dare you to 6P. And Hyrule's doing it properly, but he's delaying the dive with the double jump by so much. Should be dead. Nice. Low key.
No.
He's going to take it over Hyrule and is going to not. Oh, wait. Sorry. This is first 3. This is winners final.
First to 3.
I didn't make enough noise.
Territory.
I'm so sorry, everybody. I properly did not ask you to scream and hoot and holler. I got so caught up in the glitz and glamour. But low key is going to go up 2.
Wait, I don't know how to do that yet. I'm gonna throw in a bunch of emotes and assume.
Yes.
Hold on.
Okay, everybody,
Right.
as we go into this last match of winners finals, can I please ask you now, scream and hoot and holler and make some noise for winners finals here between Hyrule and Low-Key D Few. Who will take it, moving on to grand finals, and who will go down to losers? Like I said, both these players are guaranteed a spot in the money, and by that I mean a guaranteed spot to get fucking banned for life. But, they will have to slug it out for first place. It's their only time to do it.
Man, there's been so much of these Dash S's that haven't been contested from Hyrule.
Yeah, there hasn't. Now they've got so much meter. This might be a dud of a round. Unfortunately, the stroke connects into the JH. Oh my god, the quick perfect Low-Key D Few.
God, this character is so fun to watch. Both characters are extremely fun to watch, actually. This
Nice
is a matchup that I
HCL.
actually got accustomed to really early. Oh, boy.
People were talking in chat how Chemical Love can be an answer to Eddie just because if he tries to frog or pierce, it'll hit him. But otherwise, his little goblin ass is too low for Chemical Love. But there, killed the frog.
Oh,
has all this
no.
momentum. Should be dead. Nice! Gets the air dash input. It's a double perfect Low-Key D Few. The PP is going to move on to grand finals. Brutal, dude.
Low-Key DPP. That's exactly what the new name is going to be, and I think that's the last time we're going to see that name technically because they got themselves a first, a one-way ticket to getting banned? Yeah?
One-way ticket to getting banned. I mean, if you're in the secret is, if you could do the math, that if you're in winners, you're banned because the worst you can do is third place.
Yes, it's third place. That is correct. That is correct, yeah.
Yeah, for the record, we have expanded the banned range before to top 4. In the case where we feel like fourth place is also just like, at that level and like it was like a coin flip, but I don't do it often. I know people also want to fight for their right to get banned. A lot of people, they want to feel like they earned it, and I don't want to like rob them of that, but there's always the threat of I can ban anybody I want, and my opinions are entirely arbitrary, so be careful. But down at the loser side of the bracket.
Essentially, it's his stream and he does what he wants.
I do whatever I want.
Yeah.
Gonna be Rabu here going up against Moxie. Again, it's gonna be a run back.
Very excited to see it. I mean, we've talked about this a little bit earlier when they were playing, but individually. But I gotta say, I'm gonna be rooting for Rabu on this one. As much as I love seeing Moxie in the mix, then that's not the band name, by the way. I think there's just something about Rabu that kind of just sticks out to me in terms of like the fundamentals and what has been shown off thus far. Not to take it away from Moxie at all. I think both players are extremely strong, but at the moment, if I had to pick one, I think it's Rabu.
Yeah, oh man, I don't know. Like, I don't know who's going to take this. The last one was so close. Moxie, I will say, has been looking strong in this sort of top 8 run, right? Kind of beat the shit out of Noré, unfortunately for Noré, and then kind of beat up Shrug, even though Shrug was able to take a game. That last game was pretty dominant, so I think Moxie might be the type of player who's kind of powering up as they get later in this bracket. Some players get stronger as they get later in a bracket, and some get weaker, right? It's just kind of the way nerves work. Some people just... I am not somebody who plays better when I'm nervous. I just fall apart and die. But, like, some people do.
I think Moxie has absorbed the spirit of his opponents, like, round by round. Because you are right, actually. There was, like, exponential differences in terms of, like, how Moxie had been playing. And, like, the last example we saw was pretty terrifying in the mirror match. Like, I don't know if it was one of those instances where it was just like, well, it's my character. I understand how it works, so I'm going to be a lot more comfortable. Or it's just him just, like, taking the souls of other players on the way over. I don't
Yeah,
know.
right.
I don't know what kind of witchcraft he has. That they have, but we'll
Yeah.
see how it works out.
I tell the story on the stream semi-frequently, but the one year that I actually got me some jazzy circuit points in Third Strike, I was just fighting. It was mostly like a bracket of people I knew and friends, and I was still so nervous and like clattering my knees, and it was like the lowest stakes thing of all time, just playing some Third Strike. But it can affect anybody, no matter what is kind of going on. But this is going to be Moxie versus Raber. As a reminder, this is also only first to 2. We're almost in the last 2 matches of the night, but this will be our last first to 2.
Look at how aggressive Reibu is already.
Yeah.
Dear Lord, what was that, like two Ps to start off?
I love this. Dude, this is a perfect. That he literally just hit like what's a wall break, right? That looked like a regular like Street Fighter 2 round. She just got cornered and died.
See if the same kind of instance. We see Moxie kind of taking a little bit of precautions, primarily in the air, waiting for Reibu to strike first, playing a little bit more passive and waiting for like a reaction to go through. Oh boy.
Finds a close slash. Maybe, okay, just goes for disc. Yeah, that was kind of a weird distance. That's when Winger can really betray you. So I respect going for disc. That did a grip, but oh no. Now you got to be so concerned, right? Yeah, you got to take that burst immediately. Bold Co.
Oh, yes! Oh, no. Oh, yes! Okay! All right, everything is safe.
The litany of emotions you feel in commentary. Great tech and gets the toes. Oh, wait. Okay. Hold on. Hold on. Guile theme intensifies.
Oh, Jesus! I don't know what to expect with these two players. I have no idea what to expect with these two players, but it's phenomenal.
No, I respect the hype, Vicious, because, I mean, this has been absolutely just back and forth. You can't count either. They were just running at each other. They, like, I don't think they've jumped at each other this whole set. They're just holding 6.
This is the kind of game I like to see. Big counter hit in place. Now we can see Moxie go for the winger.
Gonna wing it up. Get a grip, but Anji's got them guts. Is Millie's hair is alive? Yeah, her hair's name is Aba.
Okay, now I know you're gaslighting me on this one.
Gets the jump in, though, into the close slash, and Moxie is going to take the first game here over Reibu. And I mean, the aggression was working on both ends, and I think Moxie, judging by the way Moxie plays, okay, I think Moxie's kind of a wait-and-see type player in terms of adapting in a tournament. So, like, that first round, they were kind of like, okie dokie, right? Like, I see the kind of game this is going to be. And I feel like they made the really good adjustment to just meet aggression with aggression. They were also just running at him and hitting 2K. And I think that was the big turnaround.
I was just trying to give Moxie the good old commentator's curse. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, I was trying to root for Reibu so that he gets powered up, and this is exactly what we call it. That's obviously not the right answer, but I'll tell you what, man. This is... It's pretty impressive from Moxie. You're absolutely right. Just kind of the way that he dissected the information based off of that intimidating perfect is pretty top-notch.
Did you maybe just think of playing like D&D 5e and you're a Hexblade and you're a commentator, and whenever you hex someone, it's your commentator's curse, and it's just...
Yeah.
There we go.
Hell
we got
yeah.
the character. Anyway, sorry. Enough of we're getting here. That's the first bad moon that we've seen this whole game. I don't know if Vicious knows that that's a move. We haven't seen it.
I have not. Yo, slapping him with the fans right in the shins.
Huge whiff and a block on the burst. That's exactly what I was saying earlier. Did you see how that burst RC didn't hit anything? That's Reaver was just like, uh-oh. And that might kill? No! The dust wasn't quick enough! Oh, disaster, dude!
Not like this.
Wait, are you gonna burst? No way. No way. The 2B connects! RC? The connects on the low! Oh my god, dude, that was Anji guts to the max. I think Moxie thought that was gonna kill.
Was Zarzal correct about the forbidden beast named Angra? Is that correct? Is that Milia's hair? Actually, I believe it. All right.
Okay, help. These throws are... They're gonna die to throws, dude! And they get caught on the toes dead! What? That is...
What do you do about that?
Bro, that's one of those rounds where you're just like... You know, you have someone in your ear who's just like...
What's the problem? Take the throw.
Okay.
That's all you have to do. Just take it until the pressure ends.
And then you die because you got grabbed 4 times and then touched in the toe. Each of those grabs did like 20%. That was so brutal, man.
That's kind of nuts, yeah. And then towards the end, you kind of saw Moxie kind of trying to figure it out. It's like, what if I press a button here? That
Yeah.
was it was a little bit too active. The butterfly was still pretty much at the hip or behind the hips. It was right
It's-
on your ass. I'm gonna be honest. The butterfly was on your ass.
It's so funny how, because like that last thing that opened him up, right, was just like the low. So they might have been trying to like hold up back or do something. And they just hit him with a little 2K. And it's so funny when a wall has that much damage on it, because you hit him with like a 2K and it's like Super Smash Bros. Knockback, right? They just go like, and it's just like, Jesus, what did I do? It's 1-1, yeah, right? I think I'm not wrong. 1-1, right?
Should be 1-1. Give me a second.
Somebody help.
What is happening here? Sorry, my wires are getting all mixed up, and for some reason, like my auxiliary cord is just getting shorter and shorter and pulling my ears off. It's irritating me. I'm like, what the hell? Why do I have to keep readjusting? Anyways,
can you
I'll
know
try to
when I was
wonder
coming back from the airport at Evo, I just tried to get some cheap plug-in wired earbuds for the flight, and I was like, "Are these wired?" And the guy was like, "Yeah, they were wireless wired earbuds," and I'm so mad about it. I'm still.
what does
pissed.
that mean? Wait, hold on.
Well, hold on. I'll
What?
talk about it later between rounds, but I let it just be known I'm pissed. But Moxie is pushing Reibu more and more into the corner here, but now Reibu has advantage. Okay, wake up throw works. That's risky though.
Oh my lordy. Oh my lordy.
Oh, what a
Big
challenge!
interruption.
Air car, driving your dreams away. And not quite dead, but not quite alive. Okay. Hold up. Bam-ba-dun-dun-dun.
Is this a problem? This might be a problem. This might be a problem. Reibu, unfortunately, runs into the flower.
Runs into the flower. That's what makes it so difficult to try to anti or melee in that case. Like, if you try to co at her, which is like the pretty obvious answer, there's odds are you're just going to fly into a flower, and that's just going to be your life. But finds the big meaty, gets the burst out at the very least.
Oh. That was an interesting exchange. I didn't get to see what happened.
That was such a bold run all the way full screen H. And oh my god, what a mix. Those are exposed. Ooh. That was actually really good from Moxie because that combo dropped, right? The second close slash didn't connect, and they were just like, mix? And immediately was able to, like, switch mind states. Co-connects?
Jesus, the conversion. Look at how much he's bleeding. Oh, well, I take it all back.
Welp, unfortunately, that burst is not going to be enough. Hold on, he's got an FD for dear life. The mix is going to do it. Moxie is going to take it over Reibu in the revenge set and is going to move on to the losers finals of this bracket. Oh, boy. Make some
That was
damn
actually
noise.
kind of nuts. Like,
That was
that specific mix, I've definitely have eaten a ton of times, and I still think to myself, I'm like, what are you supposed to do about that?
Yeah, it's like, what do I do about that? And everybody's just like, hit her. Have you tried that? Have you tried playing the game? It's
Just
like, dude.
just block, bro. I was literally playing it. I forgot who it was. There was somebody in like the celestial level, and I was trying to just block it. Then I asked Yipes about it. He's like, sometimes you just gotta have it in you, bro. I don't know what to tell you. I'm just like, well,
Gotta have that
alright.
dog in you.
all right, gotta have the dog in you. I've heard that way too many times. the other
Oh,
day,
so
playing
the
with
headphone
Toki.
story, right? So I'm at the airport, and I'm just trying to get, because I think my over-ears give me a headache if I wear them for too long, and they were all I had. So I went to this just shitty little tech kiosk in the airport, right? And I was just like, hey, can I just get some wired earbuds? And he was like, I got ones for you. These ones, they're only $150. And I'm like, those are Bluetooth Beats. Can I please, sir, get some wired earbuds? And he was like, okay, yeah, have these. And he hands it to me, and I see a wire on the cover, and I was like, in business. Just some cheapo wired earbuds, exactly what I was asking for, right? And I was like, it's a little more expensive, but it's a fucking airport. I expect these things, right? So I just get them, and I'm going back, and then I realize they are just wired between the butts. They are Bluetooth earbuds with a wire between them, not wired earbuds. And I'm just like, what part of me was not clear? I feel like I was being very nice and very clear about what I was asking for. And I'm so upset. I still have them, but like, I just wanted like $20, just plug into my phone and forget about it kind of earbuds, because I still got an earphone jack because I was born in 1993. And speaking of boomers, moving into the losers finals here, everybody, is going to be Moxie and Hyrule. This is a canon matchup. This is actually the lore, is that these two don't like each other too much.
One killed the other, and the other one just kind of forgets about it. It's like, it's fine.
But
That I do know.
Birthday Train is sticking on into it. And as a reminder, this is going to be first to 3, getting the burst early.
Oh. Kind of. All right, now we're going to get education on the lore as the beatdown happens. Moxie doing a fantastic job keeping Hyrule on his toes.
6B RC
or at
up.
least
Good
down below
block.
so the toes don't get exposed.
Yeah, gets the throw. Nice. Finds toes again. Good. Okay. Quick little perfect, but I mean, that's the life sometimes of Zato, right? Sometimes you get started and you get to run the Eddie mix, but this neutral is looking so dominated now by Moxie.
You are not kidding. You are absolutely not kidding. The hair car pretty much puts Hyrule into the corner now. It's going to be a little bit of a problem, but you know, that's the life he chose. Once you got Schmicks, what an interruption.
An interrupt, but now finds himself in the corner, but gets countered by the 2D. But this burst, this could be disastrous, actually. Like, that burst might have been the reversal that they need. The JP's barely whiff, and Moxie manages to get out of the corner.
Oh,
Not even a combo, just hurts.
That's something that I'll never get used to again. Like, we were literally just talking about that sequence in the previous game. It's like, what are you supposed to do about that?
What are you supposed to do, dude? As a reminder, the winner of this has to go on to fight Low-Key Defufu up in the winner's side of the bracket. So that is who they are trying to get the run back against, which they did put Shrug into losers 2-0. So it's not like they have a secret Milia weakness.
It's a different side of Moxie, though. I will say, like, this is something that I kind of noticed, like, playing sharper and sharper pretty much every round as it progresses. But Hyrule, again, didn't really get to see that offense shine, which could be pretty dangerous.
Yeah, we did. There's whatchamacallit, like we've seen the stagger pressures happening again. Like, I think Moxie, because earlier on they had a lot of critical drops and just like little mistakes, but it seems like they're trying to tighten it up a little bit here. Gets a double close slash.
Dude, I like that option, that movement option from Hyrule, knowing full well that the disc wasn't going to be directly on top of him, so he had room to jump back. But didn't lead to it as much, but I thought that was a really nice thing to note in terms of, like, recognizing the situation.
Yeah, I didn't feel like, just because close slash there does Hyrule. Hyrule's just trying their best to get a little bit of control of this neutral, but I feel like it just keeps slipping away from it. Okay, Frog finds purchase. Double Frog. Oh, we leaping, brother. Get in. Now, Hyrule stuck in the corner. JD out. Beautiful. The left.
Oh, my lord. What was that?
Okay, Piercer's coming. Bill's in the corner. This is going to be a pose into Shark. Beautiful. Going to get that
so
nice,
terrifying.
the nice Eddie meter restore here. Summon Frog. Dead.
The fact that having that oppose up there allowed Hyrule to close the gap significantly. That could have been a button from Zato to kind of force you into that block, but the command grab coming in just makes it so cheap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Like, it's so scary because it's a command grab that just doesn't have conventional answers. You have to do weirdo, sicko shit to try to get out of it, and like when you're put in situations like that, it's hard to do. Okay, Hyrule is going to burst here, so now neither player has burst. I think this is going to genuinely come down to who gets the next clean hit, because that's going to be who gets the Oki. This is so bad for Hyrule. Doesn't have any meter.
Oh, that's fine. That was a sequence that could have been continued, or I feel like, that was not the drop that Moxie was looking for, really.
It wasn't, and I feel like the big adjustment that Hyrule made, which is really winning them the set, is have you seen how many more frogs have been coming out lately? Brother, have you checked the weather? They are falling from the sky. Because, like, suddenly, it's just like she can't move. She keeps trying to jump, and it's like frog, and it's not just frog, it's like frog unsummoned frog. So, like, she's trying to, like, stay low to the ground, and this thing just keeps fucking jumping at her.
Yeah, that could have been an option earlier when we were talking about that situation where a pose came out and the command grab was landed. That by Hyrule, by the way, that could have been like something to catch the jump early too, to get a counter hit too. So it's like in those situations, like what are you actually supposed to do? Like there's so many options that Zato could use on offense to stop your movement, stop your buttons, etc.
Yeah, and something, if you're like a viewer of Strive and sometimes you wonder why people just get hit by stuff, you should know that you have like a lot of pre-jump frames in this game. Oh no!
Mm-hmm.
We might have a little bit of a... Oh no! Okay.
I'm glad it wasn't just me. I was like, wait a minute.
No, it's right in the beginning. So we should be able to be good here. Moxie just has to climb on into the lobby and we should be able to be just fine. Give it a second. I'll remake the lobby if it happens again because sometimes there's just bad juju in the lobbies. But like, if you're ever wondering why it seems like somebody will just be standing there and then they just get hit by a mid and you're like, what happened? There's a lot of pre-jump frames in Strive, like so many. and like you were just a grounded idiot during those pre-jump frames, right? You can't block. So like it's sometimes as a spectator I think it's not obvious, but like a lot of times that's what it is when you get caught by things that like seem weird. It's a little different if you watch like Street Fighter 5, which does not have a lot of pre-jump frames. Like you'll still get clips out of pre-jump frames, but usually it's more like they're fishing for a low and you happen to be trying to like up back at the right time. But yeah, you'll just eat mids for breakfast during your pre-jump frames and explode.
I see. Well, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, like, I've seen what happens off of a counter hit state when facing off against a Zato. So it does make a lot of sense.
Yeah, and especially that's when stuff is as tight as it is for Zato. Zato. Zappo is my favorite character. When stuff's as tight as that, that's really when jumping is just not an option.
Yeah, movement gets covered in so many ways by Zato that it's just so intimidating.
Dude, speaking of being covered, it's like Moxie is not letting Hyrule do anything. He is just getting on him and just taking him. Okay, Hyrule has made, I think, really important offensive adjustments. They've recognized Moxie's defensive patterns, and they're like, okay, I have to change up my game plan a little bit. JP to keep her corner, but Piercer actually went the wrong way.
What's actually pretty cool about that is that I think she landed on a drill.
She landed on a Piercer, but it kind of like carried her out of the corner. It's like you kind of just wanted the JP to hit there, nothing else. But ow, gets a grip. Wire seed, but if you get wire seed in the air like that, it's actually like fine usually. You're like a lot less vulnerable than if you eat it on the ground. Whoa. Yeah.
Every time I see that move from Millia, I immediately think Lunatone from Pokemon. I'm like, oh shit. The big moon? Oh, Jesus.
The bad moon, yeah. Okay, yeah, a little bit of a drop there, and this could be disastrous. Getting back thrown by Zato is top 10 bad feelings in video games, but gets the wall break, I think, a little bit earlier than they were expecting. Weren't able to build up that super and use it, but nice stagger pressure. Just 5B in her, trying to stall basically for Zato in that situation, which is like a really smart idea.
I've seen that a handful of times in top 8. Oh boy.
Nice!
Actually just enough.
I think these two are totally evenly matched at this point. They are just, these are two gamers trying to get their ass banned.
Oh! Just move it. Nobody wants to make, or like, nobody wants to get in touch with the other. I see Hyrule trying to set up, and then Moxie was just trying to get away earlier. Trying to find a clean opening. Backing up from a pose.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, finds the air hit, and that's what Moxie's been so good at, is just recognizing when people are going to try to be coy and do an air escape and just putting them into a nightmare Oki situation, but does a big ol' 6K instead of a winger.
Yeah, just halted the offense, just having the opposing front was so intimidating, but I don't think that's too bad for Moxie, because look, now we get a setup.
Hyrule did not unsummon a pose there, so that kind of meant that like Eddie was halfway across the world doing who knows what, right? Like, and unfortunately, was just absolutely no help in that situation. So Moxie's gonna take the second one here. Reminder, it's first of 3, so can Hyrule tie it up, or will Moxie run away with it?
For the most part, I kind of want to see a little bit more of Hyrule's offense, just because I've been like low-key like a fan of it little by little, but it's just so tough, right? Trying to keep Moxie contained is just such a problem. Even playing against Millia, she's just so quick.
Yeah, it's such a problem. She's so fast, right? Like it's funny because I mean because like I started as like a Street Fighter player, right? And the first time I played Guilty Gear, I was like, bro, you can just be wherever. And Millia really exemplifies that, where it's like, no matter where you try to escape from, she can just be there and hitting you. It makes it very difficult to get the hell away from her.
Word? I was going to say that run-up close slash just hit like that?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's one of those things where I think Hyrule was trying to go for a jump away because, like, there's not a lot of other reasons you would get not counter hit and just eat a mid, right? Winger kind of very gently connected there. Didn't get a lot of the hits.
What was that? Yeah, that was like, what, 3 hits? Was it the first 2 on the way up and the third one on the way down? That was
Winger,
very close call.
Ow. Tap does actually hit. It's going to get the burst out of Moxie, if nothing else, but runs into a drill.
Oof.
Wow. Frog come back the other way, keeping her posted. A pose is coming.
Oh, no. RC, what are you going to do about it? Kick from the road on the other way. Oh, Jesus.
Time to block. Time to block. Oh, the frog connects! Not enough. Desperately trying to JP to keep her in the corner. Oh, okay.
You thought you could get in? No, sir.
God, that was, for these two types of characters for Millie Zato, that might have been one of the longest matches I've ever seen. Like, that went the distance.
Oh, no, you got hit by it. What happened?
Yeah, tried to, like, I think they thought they had time to jump away, but it's a fast sword. This is going to be a wall break, and it's going to be another sword, dude. Where's he keeping him?
I don't think I want to know the answer to that one. I don't know how much cavity space this person has. But anyways.
Oh, fuzzy stuff. Fuzzy stuff. Nice combo, but actually got pushed away too far for the 2K2D. So Moxie now has, they've got a little bit. They've got some in the tank, and they've got burst. But, I mean, what are they going to do with it? What you going to do with it? Show me.
Set up for the mix. Let me see you, Moxie. Oh!
This is so weird. That was such a scramble situation. Managed to convert it into something. Hyrule's really getting the work put into him now. He's got 50 meter, but is he going to be able to use it? Gets hit out of the air!
You're going to die off of that.
Wow, what a comeback.
Super impressive. That was just one sequence away from taking the W for Hyrule.
Yeah, Piercer into Frog is a really good sequence there, right? Totally stops the jump out. It's not going to hit her, but it is going to bring her straight back to the ground. And gets the burst out of Moxie early, but now Moxie's got the hit. And Hyrule hasn't been very successful, I feel, of getting her off him. But that's an option. Sword is going to let Zato run wild.
Look at just how much screen coverage that this person, that Zato gets off the super.
Oh, hit Zato, so Eddie freaking died, dude. Opposed did not matter. This should be a winger. Okay, just goes for disc.
The option. Empty jump low. No.
Disgusting. Okay, YRC though. And YRC right back at you. Hits the toes, and Moxie is going to take it over Hyrule 3-1. But I got to say, Hyrule had a hell of a run, taking 4th place, just outside the money. Hyrule was looking really strong all night, but we have been seeing awakened Moxie. And Moxie is going to be... Wait, no, sorry. I fucking lied to everybody.
No,
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I don't know why. My brain is not doing good at keeping track of rounds. Okay, really quick, Vicious. You're new here. You don't know the rules.
Let me know.
But we are going to do a little bit of ceremony. I'm so sorry, everybody. I don't know why I'm having such a bad time keeping track of where the hell we are in tournament. Okay, is everybody ready? This is the time to break out your 07s if you've got them.
I'm going
To the Lord Hyrule, the Zato player without equal. You ran over everybody in bracket, made it all the way up to winners, finals, and then only went down to losers to lose to Moxie, who is now moving on to fight Low-Key D. But Hyrule, for your courageous efforts and your valiant mix-ups, we have decided that you should be punished and you will be banned. You are too strong for the beginner bracket. We think that you are ugly and gross, and we don't want to see you again. Thank you so much for playing. We really like it. Huge growth, by the way. We were told the highest they've placed previously was 9th place, going from 9th all the way to 3rd. Huge amount of growth there, so good shit to Hyrule. We are now going to set our sights on our final match of the night, the grand finals. This is gonna be between Low-Key D, Fiu, and Moxie. So everyone, put your hands together. Let's get stoked for some sick-ass Guilty Gear action. Does that sound good to you, Vicious?
This is exactly what I was looking forward to. As soon as I saw Low-Key D Fiu play that for the first time, I saw the highlighted. I'm like, this is going to be a great time because this character just gives me energy in life. It's like, man, should I have even dropped this character? I think Low-Key had given me the answer. No, you shouldn't have.
Is so cool, man. We're going to see. Low-Key plays a pretty weird honestly. Like, I feel like he's going for a lot of avant-garde options, especially like in neutral, right? The amount of dives that we have seen from this it is looking like dive kick out here. Like, it is, and it's a weird option to go for. So we will see. I think that Moxie has proven that they're very adaptable. So we'll see if they can close it out here. But Moxie isn't losers.
I like the pregame statement too. I've never blocked an mix-up once, so I will do my best to never get hit. That's actually the plan for a good amount of characters and a good amount of video games, so I think that's the right strategy, yeah.
Hyrule, if you're still here, player interview time. Dun, 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 dun. What's your favorite Zelda game? I imagine if you haven't played one, I'm going to scream, by the way. That'll
wanna
be
see
the
that
dirtiest
clipped.
mix of the night.
I don't even know what Hyrule is.
I just thought that the word sounded cool.
Soul Calibur, get him out. Get him out of here now. Get the cookie out of here. That was such a good answer. I'm appalled. I am actually appalled.
You've played like
I've played,
three?
like, 3.
Well, which one's your favorite of those 3? Answer the question.
I almost gave you a cop out and said one of my favorites, but I'm not gonna do it.
Well, you know what one of my favorites is, Vicious?
Let me know.
Guilty Gear Strive, because this is going to be Moxie, AM, Twilight Princess. That's a good answer. I think everyone in the chat can always respect the Twilight Princess answer.
I can see that. I mean, I've only watched it. I actually didn't have the console. No, I did have the console to play it. Did I? No, I did not. But A Link to the Past was so good.
It is super good. But you know what's also good? This grand final set. Moxie versus Loki DFQ. As a reminder, Moxie is going to have to win 1 set of 3 to reset the bracket, put Loki in the losers, and then is going to have to win another set of 3. So Loki gets a gold burst early, and there's no burst from Moxie. And I wonder if this...
Oh, the grab!
She's dead.
Oh, boy.
She's dead.
Play the solo for me, baby. Look at the damage.
Christ! Almost. Not quite, but come on. I get credit for that almost call, because that was really close.
It does hella damage. That is for damn sure.
Starting the set off with a Megalovania, I feel like that's scary. Oh my god, going over.
So tricky.
Yeah, the pressure has been so weird, and I feel like... Okay, the 5Ps are working out, and Loki is now going to be put on the defensive. This is where Moxie has been so strong.
Oh,
Nice those.
the low.
Okay. You see air dash down and grab.
The defense so far. Jeez.
Wow.
What a response to 5P.
Beautiful, but this is going to be mixed opportunity again. Everybody's getting hit by that. I'm not going to lie. Moxie has just gone for YRC low every single time, and everybody's getting hit. 5 connects. 6P. Oh.
Which way did he go?
Where did he go? And Moxie's going into this last round here with burst. Loki's going to have theirs as well. Immediate 5P out of the air.
Word?
None of this Eno nonsense. No, it goes
You're
wide.
just trying to dash up? That's wild. Oh, boy.
Like the JoJo's thing. It's like, I got to have to be in your face to kick your ass. Just going in there.
Oh.
Throws are working. Let's see.
Oh, no.
Oh, no!
Oh, no!
Huge drop. Moxie has had a couple of unfortunate drops in this tournament, but 5P. Oh my god, where are they? What are they doing?
That's so wild.
Blocking
Even
it out,
after
but
the 2S connected from low key, he was just like, I still don't know which way to cancel it. Like, am I
Yeah.
supposed to, like, use stroke on the right side? I don't know.
that got so weird. I mean, like, who JPs and PRCs up? Like, it's just so confusing. Vicious, I think we're going to have to hit a button, just so you're aware. Be prepared.
I'm pressing. Hold
Hold on, you're gonna have to wait.
I'm gonna press all of them. Nope.
Okay, don't do that. Don't do that.
Sorry about that. Wait a minute. Okay, we're in.
All right.
I pressed the button. Do I get an award?
I don't think
I don't.
Moxie went for the reset. I think that was an attempt at a super. Because I don't think a player like Moxie is just gonna forget that you tech off the wall. Then there are some characters who let you tech off the wall intentionally and like can mess you up in that way. But to me, that was just that was like a no-brainer super situation, I think. But I could be wrong.
I gotta ask you real quick as we get into the game. What was your idea behind this emote I just put out? That's
a popular. I didn't make that emote. I stole it.
okay.
That's a skeleton.
I'm a
Please
boomer.
is a very popular emote. I first
good.
saw it because everyone spammed it whenever Brian F was making a run at NLBC.
That's so funny. All right, moving on to the actual gameplay
Yeah.
itself.
So sorry, Loki again is stuck in the corner, so they're gonna have to. They dive out, they dive back in, but the BRC back, and they still press. What a gamer!
Oh, that was a slash tree, or sorry, a slash stroke.
It was, yeah. Well, slash gets opened up at the 2S. The stagger pressure. I feel like Loki is doing quite a bit of fuzzy defense, and it's not working, unfortunately. Tries a backdash there, but it's just getting chased down. Moxie is just, again, going crazy, just running at people.
Oh, that 6P really didn't amount to anything, but you know, still an opening. We're starting to see some developments here in terms of defense from low key actually.
I think we are, yeah. YRC, okay. This time they feel like it should have gone low. Like I think 2K2D should have worked from that range, but now low key stuck in the corner. Moxie's got meter to make this mix up real gross, and I think they were gonna go for Bad Moon RC there, but low key just takes the burst. Unfortunately, gets clobbered in the face for it. They've got $100. Well,
you thought you were safe.
That 2P was a little aggressive there. The full jump in is going to work. Okay, sorry, I also didn't update the score. Moxie is going to go up 2-0 right now, trying to reset this real quick like. Jeez, Moxie. Moxie Del Poder.
I like this. Yeah, he's playing as if he were, you know, he's got nothing to lose. He's already banned, right? So he's playing even extra. He's like, you know what? I'm going to give you a reason to ban me.
Exactly. By the way, I am happy. I'm proud of that Piccolo Vortex emote because I made it myself.
That one's pretty good.
Look at him go.
Look at the little feet. I've never seen Piccolo move like that.
All right. Go stroke on in. You know, don't count Loki out just yet. Ino is a very volatile character, but I think that, unfortunately, the way this is boiling down is it's feeling like... And now they're trying to FD. They're trying to incorporate other stuff to try to get him off. Gets the 5Ps, but that's pretty much it. They were trying to just, like, walk at him after. Loki's going to have to really find a way to meaningfully interrupt the offense, right? Because that's the problem. They're just kind of landing these 5Ps. They're not able to convert it into, like, Oki of their own.
And as this round concludes, I actually had a question for you. It's like, how practical is it to like FD majority of the strings that Milia has? Because I feel like Loki has gone to that option even in the previous game a significant amount.
Yeah, I mean, FD is strong against basically the whole cast outside. Like, some people have specific answers for it. Like, obviously, if you're just trying to FD Milia and then she just starts jumping at you, or she just does, like, disc, like, you're going to feel kind of silly. But, okay, right, like, Loki getting him, putting in the work, should be able to super here. Nice. Okay, Loki's not dead yet. There's signs of life. There's a perfect Vicious.
We're about to see that. Nice and easy also with the finish. Just pretty much dash up super, but now...
But yeah, see, like, the FD there kind of... the FD there, like, kind of ended that pressure string a bit early because Moxie was put out so far. That burst almost got hard punished by that disc. Oh! S-stroke, a little bit too far. Has burst, but I mean, Megalovania would kill. Super. Nice.
So much damage. What's the safe jump option? Empty jump low?
This is so
Remember,
scary.
he got blown up by that the last time he tried that.
He did. Oh, the close slash whiffs. Unfortunately, YRC, what's it going to be? Tried to just walk up throw. That is a brave thing to do. Going to get gold burst for their trouble. Diving on down.
Out of there.
Diving on down again. Oh.
Whoa. Oh, boy.
6P. No, not like this. Is this how it's going to end? Is it just going to be a comeback situation? They've got so much meter. Good blocks, but unfortunately not enough. Oh, no. TK Bad Moon also blocked the cross-up connect.
Jesus.
Oh, and that's going to be it, Vicious. Moxie is going to take it over low-key in the end. Unfortunately, Moxie was able to just win those neutral situations a little bit more. That's a W for the Milia fans back home. But really quick. Oh, wait, sorry. Yeah, it's a reset.
It's the reset, isn't it?
Dude, what is up with me tonight? I
I
promise
was like, wait, you sound like you're revving up for a big send-off, but I'm like, I'm gonna wait. I had to interrupt you. I'm so sorry. I hate doing it, but I'm so sorry. I had to do it. Bones, it's okay. I get it, man.
Look.
You're a hardworking man, and you were setting up a lot of this, but I'll
Look.
tell you what, like, there's a lot that has been, pretty much going on this entire tournament, and it's just, it happens.
Unfortunately, I didn't know, but this morning, they had to come into my apartment, and they were like, we're cleaning your fucking windows. And they woke me up, at 8. And I was like, dude, I think I'm still just, I'm just so tired. Sorry about that.
That's about the time I went to sleep, by the way. That was 5 a.m. my time, and then I had to wake up at 8 o'clock. It was a great feeling. Great feeling.
That's a bad feeling, yo. So, hey, everybody. Did you know it's a bracket reset? It's not the end of the bracket just yet. Moxie has reset the bracket. That being said, low-key did start showing a lot more signs of life, I think, in that last match. They started to be able to had a little bit more like defensive counterplay, doing FD and then finding these jumps out, finding a little bit more Abare.
No. Just as we were kind of hyping up low-key to keep it evenly matched, because again, it is the reset, Moxie seemed to have it all planned out.
Yeah, worst possible opener there. Oh my
With the
god.
dive bomb, just finding so much success. The continuation off of the 2K into the 6P, leading to the situation.
Beautiful.
On the way up, on the way out.
And able to get this knockdown here. A throw would kill. Gets the low.
Jin!
That wasn't even the
How,
combo.
like, we haven't even seen that succeed, but I do like the tenacity and, like, I guess stubbornness of trying to go for empty jump low multiple times.
Wow, jump back JP. JP from Eno is pretty freaking good as an anti-air. She kind of just punches like straight out. So
Yeah, that hitbox is nice.
the hitbox is nice and gotta be able to get the wall break here. Are we seeing someone transformed? Wow, HCL. Dude, Loki, I feel like is really mixing up their neutral calls now, and that might be all they need. They're gonna take a quick game off of Moxie after getting 3-0'd in the pre-reset bracket.
Mm-hmm. What's wild about that is that sequence of what dash S into jump dust is still going to be hard to contest against. Like you could block the incoming and then immediately go into low because of how often low-key it conditioned you into blocking low after the incoming, right? So that was a really good strat. I mean, either way, like it was great for low-key. The fact that you could still confirm it, like dash S into dust and still get the combo, that was like very fortunate. But there was just so many instances where low-key had gone for like pretty much tap dash into like low, right?
Yeah. So we'll see what the openers are here. And Moxie likes to do... I feel like a lot of these matches, Noko's wide. And like, Loki has been having to adapt to whatever the hell Moxie's doing at the round start. Gets the burst, but intercepts the stroke with the 2K.
Yeah, she is highly susceptible when it comes to getting interrupted low.
Ow. But going back to Nooch, they weren't able to use Winger. So now this is totally just a neutral situation. They're just...
Yes!
Loki!
Yes!
What the hell, dog?
No, keep going.
Finds the
I
dome.
mean, that's a great way to outmaneuver, right? Like you don't have anything that's kind of stop Amelia on their way over. Oh boy.
That did so much freaking damage. YRC though, and tried to throw, gets counter hit by the close slash. That could have gone either way.
Looking kind of nuts.
I would love to see Loki, honestly, attempt to bait some of those YRCs, because you can do it relatively... Oh, Canada. Unfortunate, but... Okay, wait! Has an opportunity here. Finds the high. Finds the high again! Trying to mix them to death. We haven't seen, I don't think, any throws from Loki on offense.
There have been a couple attempts on defense, but like that was kind of just like trying to counter actually, but not as big as we expected it to be.
Finds a stroke, and it just got the meter for this RC, but it's not enough. Might have actually just wanted to hang on to that.
Oh no.
Big anti-air. This could be disastrous. But you know what? This is the point where literally a 5P could close it out. You do not need meaningful Abare here. Just goes behind her with the hip bump. Okay, low-key.
Really tricky maneuvering there from Loki a couple of times over, just trying to dive bomb and gets pretty much a fortunate answer to Moxie trying to come in, but this is a different story now. You're trapped.
Yeah, trapped. The Mirage throw works. I don't think a single person has teched that, unfortunately. An FD? So there you saw, you were asking, like, can you just FD stuff? You saw that made Milia's far H whiff, and it gave Loki an opportunity. Unfortunately, Loki kind of gave up their turn because they jumped back instead of trying to press them to the whiff punish, the 5H. But, okay, they have an opportunity here. Oh, no! The dive for once intercepted!
Dear Lord. Dear Lord. Pray for the dive bomb. Was that the first game going to Moxie in terms of the reset?
It's 1-1. Yeah, this is the...
Sorry, it's 1-1. Sorry about that.
Well, it's 1-1 right now. Loki just 1-1. And it was fast. Loki just kind of exploded.
Super fast, yeah.
We're both tired, vicious. We're old men. We need to go to bed. We got kids.
I'm just old. Like, I'm at least a couple years older. Like 4 years older than you, you know.
Do you know how old I am? You probably asked me.
I think you just gave away your year, 93.
Oh, yeah, I did.
All right, my memory's a little sharp. Okay.
Good job. You win 5 commentator points. Okay, but low-key now. Going in and is able to bait get the burst away from Moxie, but immediately pops their burst. They're not trying to deal with any mix. They're done with it. JP's, dude!
That's it for the note. You know, that option for note going downward has been avoided 3 times thus far in this entire set.
Oh my god, the reversal
boy.
super was actually just a punish because they missed that. Wow. The dives, unfortunately, are starting to get hard called out from Moxie. I would love to see Low-Key in response kind of just hold their ground a bit better, but wasn't able to get the kill off that stroke. They need something.
Oh, dear Lord.
They're JP main now, dude.
What an answer, too. Like, Low-Key has been relying on a lot of dive bombs recently, but now going air-to-air with Jumpy more consistently has been the wake-up call he was looking for, I think.
And also, I love that round start jump back into air dash forward because they've been representing so many dives. That mixed me. I would have expected a dive, but instead, just started floating down at her. Like, gets the wall break here. What's it going to be? The dives are coming out. The dive intercepted. And the burst successfully baited. And this super sucks because now Low-Key is going into this last game with absolutely no hope of burst.
How long can you hold out? That's going to be the biggest problem.
2S works, but these jump backs are just starting to get so called out by Moxie, which is a similar strategy to what they've been doing to other people as well in this bracket. They're just a fan of that jumping Milia button. Like, it is just really good as an air-to-air. They do not want people in their airspace.
Oh.
Help.
Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, Moxie has been representing... That was so unfortunate. You made a punishable thing, not punishable by YRCing. No!
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, nobody's blocked that this far, I feel like.
No, nobody's blocked that or interrupted it because you can't interrupt it. You can just, you can try to 5P it. Wow, that wasn't a throw. It was a close slash. Dude, how was Low-Key did such a good job blocking that out as long as they could. Moxie is going to take it, though, 2-1. Unfortunately for Low-Key, these YRCs have been the death of them, right? Like, it's been a huge off switch once they get started. And I mean, like, it's something that, as a player, you need to try to start calling out if someone is that consistent with it, because if you block a YRC, they are in a counter hit state and you explode them, right? They die. And, like, one of those
minus double digits, right?
What's up?
It's like minus double digits, right?
It's minus, like, 18 or something crazy. It's super minus.
God.
Yeah, you explode if your YRC is blocked. So, like, I would really love to see Low-Key start to catch on to it and just, like, throw out a note and just chill, right? The round start gold burst. You know, that round start gold burst from Moxie actually makes a lot of sense because they've both been so aggressive at round start that, like, he knew he was doing something. There was going to be a hurt box in his face.
Well, people might ask, like, what is the benefit of actually getting that off, like making a solid read, such a risky read at that? Well, you get so much meter. You get full meter after that if it hits, right?
Yeah, you get full meter if a gold burst connects, and I mean, also, because you get more burst gauge back if your burst connects than if it whiffs. A gold burst actually doesn't work that way. It gives you the same amount whether it whiffs or it hits. So, like, it actually, like, you kind of can get more burst in a weird way, even if it's unsuccessful. But Low-Key is going to use their burst there. Yeah, it's weird, right?
I think it's great. I'm a weirdo.
Vicious is a gold burst fan, which means he is vile. But speaking of vile, the low is going to connect, but actually going to knock Low-Key out of the corner. Low-Key, not quite dead, but this is your tournament pixel. If you're going to make a comeback, no, that was such an unfortunate drop, and Moxie is going to take it. Sorry, what I was saying earlier. For the Milia fans back home, the W's on the table for Moxie. Look at that. Yeah, no, Low-Key was playing really, really great. I feel like, unfortunately, they just started to really get mixturized and beat up in the neutral, and that was looking more and more like a bleak scenario to try to come back from. So, Few says choked. Don't say choked. It's okay. There's everybody chokes, but yeah, GG's, everybody. You played so well tonight. Really quick, before I let Vicious go and slumber, we must do the final. Please, everybody, rise now and hit me with your 07s. As we say, to Low-Key D, few, you have entered so many of these brackets, at least 2, probably more, but we have seen your growth as a player, and you've grown so far that you've gone all the way to 2nd place in a beginner cup bracket with 64 entrants in it. Low-Key, you're looking great. You're looking too damn good for me, and so you are banned. I don't want to see you ever again. I think Eno's a cheap character, and you suck. Get out of my bracket. I'm just kidding, Low-Key. You're great. Low-Key's going to take the big second, and we'll be banned from Beginner Cup, making room for our top 1 player of the night. Moxie got knocked down to losers, but clawed their way all the way back. They look like somebody who, once their nerves get to them, they just get a little bit tougher. They get a little bit rougher around the edges, and that steel grit really let them reset that bracket run it back against Low Key. GG's to Moxie, and by that I mean GG's no re. You are out of here, kid. You're out of the beginner bracket for your first place placement. That will be your prize. Thank you so much for playing. I hope everybody had a really good time tonight, and I want to say, Vicious, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to commentate with me. Do you have anything at all that you want to say to Yonder chat, anything to plug, anything of that nature?
First and foremost, thank you for even approaching me with this opportunity. It's always a great deal when I see individuals kind of put on for the community, and it's I'm not gonna lie, it's like I never really got to be exposed to the work that you do up until like Sajam as well, kind of like talking about it too. So I mean, big ups to everybody that's been supporting the boners, you know what I mean, for being part of the boner squad. I think that's a huge deal because in turn it provides just so much knowledge in terms of like learning the game. It brings about an even stronger community, and that's just personally what I love to see, the fact that everybody comes together. So again, thank you for even having me on here. I know it was a kind of a mess on my end just because like my schedule is always packed, but I'm glad I was able to like catch this in person, and hopefully I would love to catch the next one and possibly play in it. So my question is pretty much like on top of, you know, hitting me up on Vicious FGC on pretty much all platforms or whatever. It's not about me. I really want to know about when the next beginner cup happens, because I might want to enter.
We are pretty consistent outside of freak edge cases. We're almost always Monday nights at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, so that'd be 4:30 your time. And I will be making the bracket for next week, everybody, right after we close up shop tonight. Yes. Again, Vicious, for your information, if you do want to sign up for it, you absolutely should. But remember, it fills up in like 20 minutes. So you got to like get in there. I'll message you when I make it.
Yes, sir.
But,
yes, I get VIP access to the first list.
Dude, Vicious, to Hollywood. Vicious, thank you again so much for being on, dude. I'm going to let you go. I'll catch you later, buddy. Bye.
Thank you for carrying me, by the way. I appreciate
it. No problem. Bye, Vicious.
See ya.
Just kidding. Hooray, everybody. We did it. Boom. All right. Are y'all ready for the closing? I'm sorry I was a little scatterbrained tonight. I feel like I had the brain rot. Those Windows people this morning, they really goofed me up. Let me tell you. Okay. Are y'all ready? Okay, everybody. Thank you so much for watching and everything tonight. I'm going to go ahead and thank all of the wonderful followers and subs. In case you are new here, as we do the outro, I ask for a little bit of audience participation. So, for tonight, let me think. For tonight, oh wait, am I still there? Okay, I am. Sorry, there's a little bit of delay on my end. So for tonight, everybody, you are all playing Uno, except you can only communicate through the lyrics of Milia's Subhuman Self. So you're all playing Uno, but you can only sing along with Subhuman Self. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. I will catch you all next time. And let me thank everybody right now. Thank you so much to the following people. The first Haikage. Wait. Too quiet. The first Haikage, Nabe Nabe, Hazy Hops with the sub, JD the Protector with the sub, Spydog with the sub, Neurotrace with the sub, Spydog for gifting the sub, The Vicious, Big Boy Fargo with the sub, Dragon King with the sub, IKDU Live with the follow, Six with the follow, Jackpot with the follow, Lil Nessie with the follow, Max with the follow, Shignori, Short Shifter, Claire, Sly, Sleepy, Lord, Castellian, Trey Comics, Piono, Fictitian, that's a good name, E.B. Spence, Reggie Dark, Atlas, Seinfeld, XXSC The Mark XX, SSJ Kirk Franklin, Vicious for gifting the big sub, Multi-Tank Dorifto, Linger Boy, Hispanic at the Disco for the big sub, Bruce Lee, Kafka 805, Riot FGC, Home Depot Temkin, that's a good name also, Raybu, Air Force One, and True Dingo. Thank you all so much for all the support and for watching. I really, really do appreciate it. You are all absolutely wonderful humans. And remember, no matter how hard it gets, we will always have Uno. Dun dun dun! Thank you all again so much. I don't know why my OBS is telling me that suddenly my audio is super delayed. I'm kind of scared. Do I sound weird or anything, everybody? Do I sound normal? Oh, damn it. I'm sorry. I forgot to add Rob. There he is. Friender, thank you for the big follow. You know what? Everybody, I'm going to be blatant about this. I'm going to raid Tasty Steve. Everybody, when you get in there, at Tasty Steve and tell Bones your schedule. This is a blatant request. We are socially pressuring Tasty Steve. Thank you again, everybody, so much for watching. I'm going to send y'all over to Steve. Catch y'all later.